Xbox babies, put the switch up. See me gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. Play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you on a Forza, I can tear down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down. Cut the fix up. With some Xbox babies, put the switch up. See me gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. Play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you on a Forza, I can tear down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down.
Family, thank you for coming through tonight. I see some of you in the chat. Welcome to the Fix. Sorry for being a bit behind. I have been dealing with what I can only assume is a bout of vertigo. I have been dizzy. I have been lightheaded. I have been feeling nauseous pretty much all week. And typically as a man, I feel like I can get over anything, so I don't go to the doctor as I should, and I did not go yet. So, yeah. And I kind of self-prescribed, And
that's why women live longer.
Indeed. That's why women live longer. Speaking of women, I see one of the fair side of that, and Santi Lou in the chat. Shout out to Santi. She says, hey, what's up? I see Biff Ronaldi. I see Buzz Killington, a.k.a. Zach Riley. Yeah, vertigo, I guess, wouldn't last a week, Santi. And Biff, I got to get to the doctor, Santi. Shout out to Vandal. He heard some soft shoeing, curses a lot of eels, or cures a lot of eels. Speaking of Vandal and soft shoeing, Vandal said that he would donate tonight to the Grand Theft Auto 6 fundraiser if I would to start off the show with a classic, as you all would know it, from a certain famous Michigan J. Frog with the "Hello, my baby, hello, my darling, hello, my ragtime gal." He wanted to make sure I did that. Vandu, I'll be looking
Baby, my
for
heart's on fire.
Also, you know it. Yes.
Kind of.
If you accuse me, then you will lose me.
It's the name of the episode is One Froggy Evening.
Let's see.
Is that where the frog from WB comes from? Is that one episode?
Yeah. It's an episode of Looney Tunes.
I only know him from the cartoon, like the bumpers, like the ads or whatever. I thought he was just a mascot guy.
So Vandal, please give your donation up as soon as you can. I would appreciate that. The Zesty Walk did not happen because of the vertigo, Zach.
Well, I don't know. You got vertigo. You're probably swaying back and forth. And from what I've learned, even the slightest sway for you is like, this man go.
If I do any sways, I've been dizzy. If I do any sways, I got to stay like straight, stiff, and with my movements and keep my head literally like stiff in the exact direction. Like literally, if I turn, I'm going dizzy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, the panel doesn't know, Vandal, so your slights won't work here, but your donations work. So you make sure you donate, my buddy.
Don't give him money. He's using it for bad things.
Don't listen to him. I want to welcome everyone in. We are joined tonight by our good buddy Assassin, and let me recognize and bring in the panel for tonight's show. I will have this illustrious, great and knowledgeable panel do most of the talking tonight. As I was just alluding to, I am a bit under the weather. I will give my thoughts, but these gentlemen can carry things just fine by their own, and I'm going to let them do just that. Vandal, does it make you feel better to tap dance? Maybe donating would help you feel better too. It'll make me feel better if you donate. I can tell you that. Oh, just so everyone would know who has donated in the past, thank you very much. So far, we are at 72.70. You notice how I included all of us? You see how I did that? We are at 72.70 for the GTA 6 fund, and just the YouTube has to take their 30% share. So if we can get that to at least 100. That will take care of the majority of it.
What I want to see is 0 donations between now and November.
Don't listen to Danny. Keeping that in mind, let me go to my panel. Starting off, why not we just go to Danny? Listen to him only for this portion, not for the donation
Whoa.
Hey. One of my co-hosts, Daniel J. McGee. What's up, brother? What have you been up to? What have you been playing and watching?
Not a ton, I guess. I been playing some stuff for RSR, for Ready Set Replay. I went back and played that Spider-Man game for the PS1. It's not very good. Episode on that coming up pretty soon. And then I'm gonna be diving into Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 in the near future. So
oh, nice.
That is my weekend plan.
You say you were playing the OG Spider-Man, which is that the one made by Activision or? It is
Activision. I want to say it's like Activision and Neversoft, but it's because it's made by the same. The guy who was in charge of the Spider-Man 1 team. It was also in charge of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and those two games came out like a month apart, if even.
And this is the one where you start off on top of the buildings, right? Like the cloudiness over on the sides. And such.
Doc Ock releases some fart gas into the city so that they don't have to model the bottoms of buildings.
Yeah, that was a classic. You didn't like it, huh?
No, it's really bad. It's just a really bad game, actually. It's maybe at the time, but it's one of those games where you go back and play it and you're like, I think maybe back in the day we just didn't like kids. I think maybe we were just like, fuck it, give that to little Timmy. He'll break his head against that for 72 hours and we'll see what happens. It's really short too. I think I beat it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I haven't played it in so long, but I did beat it back then. I think it's just that our gaming design has become so much more complex, that it feels like that. But
yeah, well, but it's because I've been playing other, we're playing through everything from the year 2000 in order.
Yeah.
And you look at that game and then you look at everything else we've played from the year 2000, and it's pretty much inarguably the ugliest game we've played so far. If you pull up a picture of PS1 Black Cat's face and it doesn't make you go, ugh, I don't know what will. You're a stronger man than me.
Zach, thank you for that. I actually did forget to do that. I'll correct it soon. The title of the stream is the same as the last show. I forgot to actually correct it in my haste to get us going. Shout out to Adidas 20, my fellow Chicagoan. What's up, brother? And shout out to Stilo Facts. He says salute to myself and company. Thank you, Zach, again. Eastside Vandal, waiting for your donation, brother. You can start off with $5 to $10. Feel free. Yeah, man. And what else? Have you been watching anything else, or that's about it for you?
Not really. I got some ongoing stuff, like I'm watching House of the Dragon. The only thing I finished is I watched Spider Noir. That show's pretty good.
Yeah, I see it's got a lot of nominations for awards I've seen.
Yeah, I haven't been looking at award season at all yet, but yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. It's got some really interesting cinematography going on. Mm-hmm. Nick Cage is Nick Cage in it. Like, at no point does he become Ben Reilly. He's just Nicolas Cage, which is both good and bad, depending on what scene it is. Yeah. So I don't necessarily foresee him getting nominations for like best actor in a drama or whatever, because I don't think anyone told him it was a drama, to be honest. I think funny. He thought it was a comedy. Everyone else didn't know, but he did, I guess, think it was a comedy.
So yeah, Vandal was saying it has 8 nominations, and Zach was saying he finished it earlier today, and it was really good.
It's real good. Yeah, there's some crazy. I think the guy who plays Robbie, he's like a journalist character. I think he's in the New Girl, the actor.
I was gonna say it's Robert Robin. Well, I forgot his real name.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah, no idea.
Yeah,
but he's really good. And then the ironically, based on what I said about the Spider-Man game, the lady who plays Black Cat, or she's never actually Black Cat in this. She's was it Cat Hardy? Is that what they call her? I don't remember her full name. Everyone just calls her Cat.
Lamorne, by the way, is his name.
Felicia Hardy?
Lamorne.
Well, she's Felicia Hardy, like the actual character, but I think in that world, I think she's just called like Cat Hardy or something.
Cat Hardy, huh?
I think so. Anyway, she's really good. Those are like the two best parts, and then the guy who plays Silvermane's pretty good too, but he's not in it a ton.
Silvermane.
He's real good.
I remember. So, I just remember hearing Kingpin call him like that on the old school Spider-Man animated show. That's Silvermane. He always had the man, the way he's Silverman, Spider-Man.
I don't know that I even know who Silvermane is as a villain until this, to be honest with you. I don't remember him being in much.
Yeah.
Think Hammerhead, but older.
Well, Hammerhead's in this too, but he doesn't really look like it. I don't think, or not Hammerhead.
Oh, you think
it's Tombstone? Tombstone.
Yeah.
They're basically the same guy.
More or less. Yeah. More or less. I mean, Hammerhead is got that old school classic gangster look to him with the parted hair. He basically looks like James Cagney, but with a bigger head. I'm on top of the world, ma. On top of the world.
Silvermane is kind of like the Carmine Falcone version of Spider-Man in that mythos. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much the Falcone of
Spider-Man. Before Kingpin came along.
Who's Kingpin? Kingpin's already just like a crime boss guy. He's not like he's got powers, I guess. Like, he is strong, but he's not like.
Now, when you think of like the Batman mythos, like Carmine Falcone was the first crime boss, and then Penguin came in, and Penguin's more well known. Mm-hmm. So same thing here. Silvermane was Carmine, and Kingpin is basically what Penguin is, like the current crime boss.
Pretty much.
I feel like people would fight you on saying that Kingpin and Penguin are the same guy, but I won't.
I mean, you could also look at it kind of like maybe like like Black Skull. What's his name?
Black Mask.
Black Mask. Thank you. I'm like Black Skull. I'm like, that's not it. Yeah,
I mean,
like Black Mask in that way too. Something like that. I guess you can kind of Although Kingpin and Pin is very clearly more dangerous than Black Mask has been. But that said, Zach also pointed out that X-Men 97 has been effing incredible. I've heard, brother. I got to check that out. And Pluribus and Widow's Bay, which I've got to get into as well, Vandal. He said they both got 18 and 19 nominations each. Incredible.
I was going to watch Widow's Bay, but it's on Apple Plus, and you keep telling me that you can get me in on Apple Plus and then not doing that.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
so I don't know.
I can listen. I'll talk to you after the show, and
you keep being like, I'll hook you up, and then disappearing.
You know what? You're right. I forgot. I even promised Vandal too. I promised Danny first, so let me get back to you on that. But actually, you'll be fine, Vandal. Kay can hook you up. I did promise Danny that, so I'll hook you up with that, and I'll talk to you after the show. Remind me. The Asian singer. I never heard of that one. The Asian singer, Vandal.
Is that a show, or is he still talking about Cat from Spider Noir?
I guess he's. Are you talking about the lady in the show, Vandal, or the name of a show? Oh, Cat. Okay, never mind. Yeah, shout out to Soil Tech in the chat. Shout out, brother. So listen, let's move forward. Crusader, my good man, what's up with you? What have you been up to? How are you?
So, for those who don't know, I live in central Pennsylvania, and central Pennsylvania just had some of the worst storms we've ever had as long as I've lived here. I didn't have power from the 4th of July until Monday in the evening.
Sheesh.
And
2 days off.
Some of my coworkers didn't get power back until yesterday.
Pretty good.
It's been real bad, and as a IT network engineer, it's been real bad because all of my clients in the area, we've basically been having to go out on site because we can't remote into their stuff because their network isn't back up, and we have to like check their equipment because we have to make sure that like they don't need to like file like an insurance claim or stuff like that on their hardware.
That sucks.
So it's been a lot. So I haven't been playing a ton in the last week. I didn't get to watch the newest episode of Dance of the Dragons, unfortunately.
Yeah, me either, actually.
I will say, I'm getting really fucking tired of this has nothing to do with the show itself, but of the people making content about the show who will just fully put big ass spoilers either in the first second or literally in the thumbnail. So you're scrolling through and it starts auto playing on your phone and it's like, oh, there's that character dying, and you're like, sick. Good to know. Happy that I saw that here.
You're like, thanks.
Thanks, new rock stars, you butthole, Eric Voss.
But otherwise,
Can't stay
I've been
mad
playing
at
a
them.
lot
He
of
smiles too
Destiny.
long. So
Nah, they're good. They're good folk. They just, but they gotta stop.
for sure. No, I gotta watch it too, though, Crusader. Definitely. I watched like the first 10 minutes, and that was it. I moved on to something else, but I'm gonna watch it. But yeah, I heard it was good. This season, people are saying like it's bringing people to the thought of, is this the greatest Grand Theft? I almost said Grand Theft again.
Grand Theft Auto.
You see, listen.
It's definitely not the greatest HBO show of all time. That's for goddamn sure.
They're saying though that these episodes have been as great as in the history of the Game of Thrones shows. Like
it's good.
It's good. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a reason why the show. I mean, it's very good, but it's not like season 1, 2, 3. It's not in that ballpark. But I'm still loving it.
Yeah, I still put
there
like
continues
certain
to be
episodes
plot
above it.
changes that I'm really annoyed with from the actual like source.
Yeah.
But whatever.
There's definitely. I think the first two I would put in the echelon of the top 10 or 15 episodes the show's ever had. I think obvious standouts like Hard Home and Battle of the Bastards, like Red Wedding. Those are just like those are cut above anything else, right? But it's got to be in the top 10 or 15, I would say. Even ranking wise,
there's
up there.
a scene in the second. I'm not gonna actually spoil anything, but in the second episode, there's an entire sequence in the second episode that I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah,
It was pretty good. I'm all right with this.
Pretty good.
I think what's her name that plays Rihanna, Rihanna. How do you say her name? Rhaenyra. Thank you.
It's tough because I think there's like at least 2 different
It
ladies who got
is.
names that are the same as that. So I don't know which one.
Rhaenyra.
Well, no, but there's the other one too. The daughter, the one who didn't have a dragon.
Yeah. Right. And I'm thinking of Rihanna in my head
like
too.
Rhaena.
Yeah. Rhaenyra. She acted her ass off in this second episode, man.
She's very good.
Yeah, so I was like, just phenomenal acting, like literally. So, I won't go on too much with it though. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but yeah, just phenomenal acting so far. I've been very pleased with season 3 so far. But yeah, what else have you been up to aside from suffering in this terrible weather you all have gone through?
I've been playing a large amount of Destiny. Like, a very large amount of Destiny. We have been doing raids and dungeons and shit, like, every night with my friends, like, including Dots and some of our other friends. Basically, our entire long-form clan has just reappeared to play the game, and we've been playing the game nonstop for the last 4 weeks. It's pretty terrific. Dots and our other friend, Chronicler, who may or may not be in chat tonight, not sure. They just got they both unlocked the lightsaber in the past couple days.
Oh, nice.
From the Star Wars expansion. So they get to be
Jedi.
Master LARPers.
Yes. May the Force be with you. Anyway, that's dope, man. I still got to get to that. It's just been an overabundance of great releases that I am far behind. But I do want to make that trip through Destiny at some point with your guidance.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. You had anything else you wanted to throw out there, or that was it for you?
That's basically it for me. Luckily, it's just been a lot this week, and it's gonna be a lot in the next couple while. I gotta go restock my entire fucking fridge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Because we lost all of our food and all of the food in our freezer.
Nice.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Wow. That sucks. Yeah, especially your friends who you said didn't have their power till yesterday.
Yeah, Dots didn't have power for a day longer than me.
Man, so the 7th for him. Yeah. That sucks. Shout out to Biff Ronaldi, a member for 9 months in the Fixer tier. He says that he had tornadoes on the 4th. It's been like 90 degrees since. Wow.
We were having tornado warnings here, like trees just uprooted. It's crazy.
That is something else. Yeah, Vandal, I would be down for that. I don't know if I have Division on a PC, but I was thinking of actually getting that the other day, and now that you're saying that, maybe I'll go and grab it. I actually did not finish the Division 2, so I wouldn't mind doing that. And, of course, last but not least, our great returning guest and friend, Assassin. Assassin, man, how are you, brother? How have you been? Well, kind of know, because I talked to you the other day. What have you been up to? What have you been playing, watching, etc.?
I haven't been really watching anything as of late, but I have been putting a lot of time into Elden Ring. I finally beat the game last night.
You are.
Took me a few
Elden
tries.
Lord. Welcome, Elden Lord.
Well, I got the Age of Stars ending. I figured that would be a better one.
Oh.
But I guess would it be Elden Consort at this point?
You would be a consort,
or with that ending?
Yeah,
yes.
You got taken away with a girl and her multiple arms. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, she get the fill up on you. You're getting filled up as her consort. You are her thought.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yes.
I did not beat Millennia like I thought it would. I talked with a friend of mine who has beaten the game multiple times. I'm gonna upgrade the Rivers of Blood katana, get that leveled all the way up.
Very nice.
Go into New Game Plus 2, and then give it a reshot. But
okay. Well, I think they nerfed the blood damage at some point, but that's what I used when I played it. I had the Rivers of Blood katana.
Yeah, I've been using the Moonveil since I think. Actually, I think I used it pretty much all the way through the entire main story.
Yeah, it was devastating for me when I used it at one point when I had that. Two swords. Yeah.
Yeah, heavy intelligence builds with that one.
Nice.
Other than that, I picked up Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced today.
Yes, sir.
Downloaded it. I've been playing it for 2 hours. Obviously, I stopped when the show started, but I was talking to Danny and Crusader, all the memories that I had playing Assassin's Creed 4 back in the day just all came playing back. I have missed Assassin's Creed as an IP. Fantasy Creed is great. It's a good sub-genre, but let's get the real series back.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're going back to it.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I also bought it earlier today and downloaded it earlier as well. I will get to it. Right now I'm on Pragmata, so I wanted to finish that up, which I'm enjoying as well, but then move to that. Yeah, I had to pick it up. Also, we see Doom here on the screen. I picked up Doom's expansion as well, and I had Microsoft points, so I didn't have to pay in cash. But yeah, man. No, Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed game in the series. And that's saying a lot with so many of them, many great games in the series, including, of course, Ezio's. And
Assassin's Creed 2 and
really good ones.
Yeah.
2 and Brotherhood are tied for me, my all-time favorite Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed was the main franchise that got me into gaming. I mean, it is my damn name, for crying out loud.
I see. Yeah. I wondered if that part that played a role. I didn't want to make the obvious connection, but it was. Yeah.
I mean, it kind of did, and I will not tolerate any Ezio slander.
Oh, I got nothing but love for Ezio. One of the coolest.
Oh, no. I wasn't talking to you, Umbra.
This is targeting another panel member
It's
that's
targeting
not
me.
me.
Whatever.
Wait a minute.
He's fine, but it's just, I don't know. You go back and he's just
What do you mean
kind
he's
of a
just
god.
fine?
He's
What?
fine. I don't know. What does he do that's good?
He was
He's
like
just kind of
bobbity
a
boobity,
Dan,
boobity
he's a
bobbity.
womanizer. He what does he do? And at the end of it, look, I wasn't gonna do all this, but you brought it back up. This is on you.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
But his dumbass is the one who's like, you know what? I ain't gonna kill the Pope. See you never. I'm sure this won't come back to bite me. His dumbass.
I mean, I will say this: Ezio is better than the guy who didn't accidentally kill his kid on accident.
I don't know which one we're talking about.
I don't know which one they're talking
We're
about.
talking about Odyssey. We're talking about Odyssey. No,
Who
not
killed
Odyssey.
his kid? Who
Origins.
killed his
Origins.
kid?
Origins.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It was Origins.
I was like, I
So-
don't remember anybody killing their fucking kid. You kill. I mean, spoilers. You
I
do kill
wish-
a family member.
I wish I could have
You
been
You do.
connected to this. I have not played Origins yet. So like Origins or Odyssey, I have not played. I know about them. I just haven't played through them. I
good.
stopped at
They're good
Unity back then, and oddly enough, jumped back on in Shadows so stupidly. But in Shadows,
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. People were so pissed off at what happened with Unity at launch, they didn't give Syndicate a shot.
That's exactly what happened to me. Yep, that's exactly what happened, man.
I stopped having the ability to just buy all the or get all the games I wanted. This when I was in college.
But that said, I've seen nothing but shining reviews for Black Flag, so I cannot wait to jump back in there as one of my favorites with Edward Kenway for sure. Do my sea shanties.
Yes, sir.
There's
And
also,
Ubisoft celebrated completely normally by laying off 50 people.
that put a sour note in the air for me. I was like, as soon as I got back online, I'm like, oh, 51 people laid off. I'm like, okay, that sucks to see that. Like immediately after, I'm like, yay, time to play this. Imagine that. Like you just put the game out. It's lauded by the critics. It's going to likely perform well. Oh, here's your pink slip. Like that's crazy. Did you have anything else you wanted to give us? That you've been doing, or
I mean, no, it's just you know, Elden Ring has just mainly been taking my time. Assassin's Creed will take my time until Halo comes out later in the month. I've already talked with Red and Arcane. We're all going to play it together.
on Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation. It's
just
so it's
to
funny.
see,
I'm
yeah.
playing it on PlayStation. Arcane will play it on PC, and Red will play it on Xbox.
Oh, you all look at you all, just a fun bunch. I see you.
Now we just need a fourth person, and for Microsoft to port it to Switch last minute just to get all four.
Have somebody play on a handheld, but that'll do it. Yeah, man. As far as myself, just to quickly go through it. As I said, I was on Pragmata. I am near, I guess, further to the end than I am the beginning. Been enjoying the hell out of it. That's what I'm talking about, Joey. I see you, Dr. Dry Rub. And I'll speak on this in one moment. But, yeah, I have been enjoying it a lot, man, Pragmata. It's got a nice, clean aesthetic to it. It really gives you that 360-esque game feel. You guys ever played Lost Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that when Capcom was chasing Western trends?
Yes.
Yeah, they were. But it has that
games
kind of
were-
feel.
Those
Thank
games
you.
sure did exist.
I forget Danny is very pessimistic, so he's always like, yeah, it was there. It was
Dude, yeah,
around.
like,
It was there.
Game of
I don't
all
think
time.
I don't think I've ever in my life heard someone be like, you know what my favorite game is? Lost Planet.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Wait.
either, but, yeah.
Wait, between who here on the panel is the half glass full and the half glass empty guy?
I'm on
We
the half.
alternate week to
yeah.
week.
Yeah.
I'm more of the usually the optimist, but and Danny is definitely
I
more
don't
of
know.
the
I don't know if that's true all the time. though.
what? That's almost
Like,
always certain.
Who's the dedicated optimist, pessimist, and realist?
I
You
am
can't even
more
see
of
straight.
the
What you mean,
optimist. Danny
Stand
is
up, tell
more
me
of the
you're an optimist.
pessimist, and Crusader is more of the realist.
I was like, I'm somewhere in the middle. I
Yeah,
don't like
he's-
I don't like being a business realist because I don't give a shit about businesses.
Right.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I can go into like the realistic look at it, but like, I don't give a shit because like, it doesn't help me.
Yeah, and that's why I say I think you're more grounded in terms of
That's not my problem.
not being connected one way or another emotionally. I think me and Danny have wildly different views one way or the other. Usually,
never
I'm more
felt
glass
emotion in
half
my life.
full. He's more glass half empty.
That is not true.
If anyone has listened to us, they know that's true.
That is not true.
That is absolutely
You shit on stuff all the time.
Listen, I do not start off like we'll talk about something. If I talk about, let's say we talk about, I don't know, any game, I'll be like, yeah, that game was okay. I didn't like the much. It was okay.
That's just because you have bad taste. Like
But
if you talked about games that were good, then
I'm
we
just
wouldn't
pointing
be.
it out.
We wouldn't be here.
I'm just pointing it out.
Like-
and if you do that to Danny,
I mean,
you ask him about
pragmatic.
the game.
That's because you post some shit. You'll be like, so I was playing Dingle Boppers 96, and I'm like, what the
Dingle
fuck is even that?
See?
What the? No one knows what the fuck
See
you're
what
talking.
I'm talking about? If you bring that up to him, he was like, yeah, that was a game that existed. Yeah, like
Talk about a good game.
see now you
about-
see it, Assassin. You
Talk
can
about
hear it.
something.
Danny, what is your definition of a good ass game?
You want like an example or like?
Yes, I want you to name me an example of a game that you 100% would not shut up about or would 100% recommend.
Mass Effect 2, easy, done.
Well,
That is
that's
the best
easy.
answer you could physically give.
It's done. It's the right answer.
That is easy though. That's
It's
that's too easy.
yeah, it is easy because it's
So,
right.
Umbra, do you want to tell them that I'd never played Mass Effect, or do you want
You
me
should
to?
play
do it.
Assassin.
You
You
should
should play
play
Mass Effect.
You
Like,
should definitely play it.
I mean,
It goes
okay,
on sale
I-
for like $6. The trilogy.
Yeah,
Okay,
you probably
I
skip
remember
that drama.
playing it a long time ago, but I don't remember a damn thing.
Oh god, then you can experience it for the first time.
Over
You'll be like, the
again.
first game's okay, and then you're gonna play the second game. You're like, all right, this shit fucking slaps. You're
Yeah.
gonna play the third game. You're like, wow, I don't understand why people were mad at this at launch.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, wow.
That's how it felt for me when I got to
You'd
3
be
because
like,
I played it
99%
late.
You're like, "It's
Okay, wait a
terrific."
minute, Crusader. If you between Mass Effect and Destiny, which one's the better one?
Definitely Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's not even a question.
Destiny's my number 3. Skyrim is the Elder Scrolls is clearly in between Mass Effect and Destiny.
I'm not mad at,
Destiny
I'm
gets
not
the
mad at
bronze
that.
trophy.
I'm not mad at that. Although I would put Elder Scrolls Oblivion instead of Skyrim when I talked about it, but I'm not mad at that. I agree though. Mass Effect 2 is one of the greatest games ever made. I think. And I love the trilogy in general. I think so.
Yeah.
But enough of that.
The trilogy very clearly and pointedly leaving one specific one out.
Yeah.
Even though
I
that game
love
is
part
ass,
one.
I still
love part 1 and 3 though. Still.
Well,
I love them all.
He's leaving
That's not the
Andromeda.
one I was talking about.
talking
Yeah,
about 3.
he's leaving
Yeah.
it. He's leaving Andromeda. And Andromeda.
Yeah.
Oh, Andromeda. Okay, I haven't played
Yeah.
that.
Still a fun game.
Yeah,
It's
I
okay.
heard, I heard Andromeda was like they had the best overall combat in the entire series. I heard.
I
One
couldn't care
could-
less
one
at a
could
certain
argue
point, though. You know,
Yeah.
when everything else is so booty. But they
Yeah.
did fix a lot
I've
of
heard
the
after
things that were
after they
broken about
patched it so much, it was okay. So I'll eventually get to it.
It became playable.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, aside from that, I did not finish. I watched Obsession. Has any of you all seen that yet? Obsession, the movie.
I have not.
I know enough about it to.
Knowing you, I'm sure you were like, "This is exactly what I want in a woman."
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't tell her no. I mean, once you watch it, you'll see what's up. I think
Yeah, it's
she,
very good.
yeah, this lady,
Where
I
can I
forget
get
what's
me
her
one of
name,
those wheels?
Inda, what's her name, Navarit,
Inde Neverett, I think.
something like
her
that.
name
Yeah,
is.
she was phenomenal too, man. She acted her ass off as well. She carried the movie like easily. There's no two ways about it. The movie was really good. It's crazy how much like I think the budget was like $1 million, and it's made like 400 times that now. It's like 400 million over. It's made, and I hope that she's getting paid like some type of extra something, like back end or something.
She's already been in talks to be in a Marvel movie because she's like, I want to be in a Marvel movie.
Let her do it. Let her do it, Marvel and Disney.
It's the
Because
same
the
thing
girl
with
is
that
phenomenal.
that Backrooms movie costs like $1.20 to make, and it's cleaning up.
Yeah,
Just
three,
like
350.
quietly, this won't come up later, but just like quietly, movie theaters are having one of the best years they've had in like a long time.
I've seen. Yeah, there's been a few movies
They're
across
doing
the
real
billion.
fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm sure that won't come up in our conversation about what PlayStation's ideas of what people want.
not
are.
much.
Oh my.
Speaking of which, we do have to get the show on the road. But as far as what I've been playing and such, it has been Pragmata. I beat Lies of P. I had played through that finally. Enjoyed
See, that's
that.
a good
man.
game.
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
What?
Enjoyed it. I beat that and its DLC.
Wait a minute.
That's a good game. Play more like that. That's a good one.
I played
You love that game.
tons of them, though. That's the thing. I play so many
That's
good
not true.
games. But that's listen.
You got low standards.
See,
You've been,
I need to replay
you've
Recipe.
been living
I
in
need
Chicago
to.
too long. You don't know.
I
What
need to
good
play
things
Overture.
are like anymore.
Overture was pretty good, man. I think actually Overture was one of, if I had to be honest, I think it was one of the better expansions I've played for a game in terms of once you get the narrative at least toward the end, once it comes together, it's like, oh, that was really dope.
Can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah, same. I'm actually really hyped now for it. I thought it was really great, and it was made in the almighty Unreal Engine, but it was on Unreal Engine 4.
Okay.
And it runs
All
despite
right,
all
moving
that.
on.
It ran great, because it's Unreal. It's gonna run great.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of true.
Hey.
You know it's not gonna run great. It'll look pretty, but it won't run great.
Yeah,
It'd be the best slideshow you ever saw.
well, Unreal Engine 4
All
actually
flash
ran
and
pretty
no
well.
substance.
Yeah. No, but Unreal 4 actually didn't have the issues that 5
No,
had,
Unreal- no.
so that ran pretty well.
It has some issues when when you do stuff at 4K, but it wasn't being widely used in the 4K era.
Right. Yeah.
Especially at the very high texture quality era.
Mm-hmm.
Someone can fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure Square Enix did mention UE5's engine troubles as the reason why they didn't develop Rebirth in UE5.
They did
or the Port 3.
They
also
didn't want to
saves them a lot
switch
of
to something
money.
they weren't familiar with.
Right.
There you go.
Because
I mean,
everything
they-
else had been in 4, and they felt that it would be much faster to just continue to finish everything in 4.
Yeah, Rebirth still looks good, even in UE4. Even 10 years later, Arkham Knight still
It looks phenomenal.
a good-looking game in UE3.
Listen, Unreal is a monster, man. What can I say? Anyway, that's
No, Unreal Engine 3 and 4, sir, not 5.
Unreal Engine 5 is the best looking out of all of them, but
They're moving on
Just
from it real
has
fast,
technical issues.
though.
Not really.
they're moving to 6 coming up, right?
They're
It's
moving
about
on.
the same rate.
They were, hey, we're trying to be funny here. We're telling jokes.
Yeah, I refuse.
No,
If I'm gonna
Never
make
mind,
fun of
if I-
Umbra, I'm gonna do it right.
There you go.
there's no wrong way to make fun of Umbra. What are you talking about?
I'm glad we got a Crusader here to right the ship and correct these lies and
Give it a
slander of
minute.
Unreal.
He'll say something you don't like.
Until he says something I don't like. But right now he's on the right track.
He'll come back to the right side. Of
I say all kinds of things people don't like. It tends to be a shtick with me.
Yeah, but
make no
You
one
get used
happy.
to it.
so let me give a few shout outs. I see Talos Ray, what's up, brother? I see you in the chat. And Dr. Dry Rub. Let me give him my man his props. Vandal? Is that a watermelon? I think that's very particular that you chose a watermelon of all things. I wonder what your motivation for the watermelon is. Oh, and 500 jewels for a watermelon. I'm not even going to touch that one. Dr. Dry Rub gives a generous $10 donation. He says, "Sing, frog, sing. Well, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal."
He calls you a frog and you still sing for him? That's crazy.
It's an inside joke.
That's the song though.
Wow.
It's an inside joke. Yeah, it's, baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, then you will lose me. Yes. So, Vandal
I'm just
says,
imagining
"Oh my."
it's like the Phantom of the Opera thing. Like you're the lady and he's like, sing.
Right. Junior Gaye, whatever. I said it, Gaio. Junior Gaye, what's up, brother? Finn, it's Finn Archive. I'm waiting for Crusader to go off on Sony Microsoft on the stream. Should be a fun one indeed. Yes.
He will not be the only one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right, Dots. Shout out to Dots. He says, "What the alien from Spaceballs." That's right. It did do that on there. It jumped out the stomach and was like, "Hello, my baby." Did a little start kicking the feet up and everything. That's right. So listen, let's move forward, man, to the news roundup if we have much of that, and then to the main topics, and I'm gonna let the fellas do most of the work here. I will say this before we go forward. I highly encourage everyone here tonight to donate to the GTA 6 fund. Thank you, Dr. Dry Rub. Thank you, Vandal, for your 500 jewels of watermelon. Again, I don't know why you chose that of all things. Watermelons, watermelons. And shout out to Splendiferous. What's up, brother? Wagwan. But yes, let's move to the news roundup. Wagwan.
Don't support this man. Don't support this man's bad decisions.
Don't listen to him.
He's telling you what he's gonna spend it on, and it ain't good.
Save your money.
I'd rather he spend it on drugs.
What?
Danny, you're gonna.
What?
See, this is why I told you not to listen to him.
Whoa.
He'd rather y'all put it on drugs instead of Grand Theft Auto. You see this?
You need drugs,
Danny.
Vertigo.
Wrong drugs.
I want to go see a doctor, but I'll spend $80 on fucking GTA.
Gaming gives me life.
If you don't trip and fall and bash your head open on a fucking bathtub before it comes out.
I don't want to spend $20 going to see a doctor for drugs, but I want to spend $80 on a game that has digital drugs.
So that I can sell drugs.
Well, I got insurance.
Come
so
on.
That's the beautiful thing. I don't have to pay out of pocket. Thank you.
And
for
you're
the
still
insurance.
not going.
I know, right? Yes, it is $100 for the. It's 82 as well, though, Vandal. You can.
It's 80 for the standard, and then it's
100 for the actual full game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was trying to give Umbra like a win here, like, oh no, save $20, like, but nope, fuck it. All right.
Yeah, I'm aiming for that 100, so I want to be honest about it. Yes, well, I'm aiming for the 100 Ultimate, aka regular edition.
Do not support this man until.
So I would encourage you all to not listen to Danny.
Umbra.
I would encourage everyone to ignore Danny on that and donate as your heart sees fit to the GTA fund.
Hold your donations until his ass goes and sees a doctor.
I have gone to see a doctor, folks.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Donate. Yes.
That $100 for GTA 6 is not going to matter if you're confined to a hospital bed.
True.
It's the spirit.
Unless it's your Make-A-Wish.
It's the spirit of it. As long as I know I have.
Although if that's the case, please, I will do everything in my power to make sure Bushido is your bunkmate.
Oh my boy. God.
Take me now. What else? What do we have in the news, fellas?
We already kind of referenced this one, but Ubisoft did in fact lay off. The number I have is 51, but I don't know if that's an exact number or if we're still trying to figure out the exact number. But they let off a bunch of people, not entirely from the Assassin's Creed Black Flag team, but it seems like the majority of them are from that team. And they made sure to do that on the launch day of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced.
Terrible.
So they were like, "We don't need you anymore. Go on, get.
We got your game. Now you get on out of here." That's pretty terrible, man. And
pretty cool. Also,
I saw this. I started downloading. It just sucked to see that news. I'm like,
yeah,
really?
You gave them money, and then they were like, "This is what I'm going to do with it." And that's the same level of betrayal that you guys can expect if you give money to Umbra.
No, because I will use that money for forces of good, and that's getting the Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know
6.
that we can call Grand Theft Auto forces of good when we just found out that the CEO of that company is going to Peter Thiel's butthole cult group.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't know about that part.
Yeah, well,
Jesus.
Zelnick is it's a whole story, but he's...
Oh, with that Illuminati thing. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to that one where it's like, money does buy you happiness, or like,
well, to
build
be
a cult.
fair, we don't know all the ins and outs of that and the nuance, because, I mean, even Sarah Bond was on there, and I doubt Sarah was involved in something nasty and nefarious.
My man, they're calling it like a billionaire Illuminati. Like that's in their group chats about it. Like it's not a good thing.
They were just playing, that's all. They were fooling y'all.
Well, hey, if it makes you feel any better, the CEO, was it the CEO? I don't know. One of the people in charge of Ubisoft died in a plane crash. So
it was
that was terrible too.
So that's pretty rough.
Terrible.
He was the one keeping these 51 people employed, and they were like, "Well,
yeah, I know, right?" But see, Dots it recognizes it. If the glass held full, take again. That's right. See, Dots, I told y'all. It's Danny the one that's the negative one.
Is it glass half full or is it defending your bad choices? I don't know if that's the same thing.
You see, even that was a glass half empty
I don't know
take
if
right
that's
there.
the same thing personally.
Just pointed it out. Y'all hear it in real time.
You
What
can't
else
even
did we
see
have?
straight. What you know about? What do you know about how the glass is?
For all we know, the glass is the reason why he's got vertigo.
Oh shit, man! You got to stop hitting the glass. You know.
I think my glass has been too full of pop, and maybe I've been drinking a bunch of
Too much
water
Chardonnay.
since. Yeah,
His lobster too
Chardonnay.
buttery.
Lobster too buttery, steak too.
His lobster is too buttery, his
too
wallet's too
juicy.
thick, and his Gucci diamond shoes are too tight.
You know,
You got the Gucci shoes?
Gucci flip flops.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Chicago's really coming up since the Bears got kicked out. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, the Bears ain't going nowhere. We're gonna keep them here.
They're
Can't
already
have-
gone. They left.
Indiana's no place for the Bears.
No, I don't think anywhere's a place for a bear, frankly. But Indiana's already ruined. What are they gonna do? Other piece of news we got here. There's a couple of quick little things coming for Persona fans. Number one, Netflix is doing a live action Persona 5 show, which I'll be honest with you.
You expect?
I'm gonna die.
You expect it to suck.
Thanks,
I know you
Danny.
do.
I was trying so hard not to remember that this is an actual thing,
No one's
and
gonna
you
make you watch
fucking ruined it.
No one's gonna make you watch
I
it.
know, but I don't want. Who asked for this?
Look, they're gonna cast
The
Jared Leto
shareholders
as
asked for
Joker.
it.
That would be great. And I'm sure that they'll handle. Look, they did the live action One Piece, and they did a good job with that. So it's like not impossible that this won't suck.
It's not
but, like,
impossible.
Historically,
Yeah,
historically,
like probably
yeah, live
improbable. Would it?
not gonna be great.
Would Persona
One
use-
Piece
would-
is a good example, but
Yes.
Avatar is an example of another one that didn't go well.
Look, man,
Let me ask though.
and I didn't watch that one.
Would Persona
Man,
have a
I'm
lot of
well-
special effects needed for it though?
Either.
Would that need a lot of special effects for Persona or?
Not
I mean,
really.
Maybe, yeah, for the summoning aspect of Persona, yeah.
It depends on
But
how much
everything
they
else,
do.
no.
Yeah, like how much, depending on how much time they spend like inside. God, what's it called? It's not Tartarus. That's 3. But like inside the dungeons or whatever, because those will need some kind of effects for sure.
Why are they starting off?
Did
with
they
5
even
instead
say
of,
if
like-
they were adapting like a specific one, or is it like an original thing?
No, they said Persona 5.
It's at Persona 5?
Yeah,
Why-
well, that's the
why-
popular one. That's the one that blew up.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
That's the most popular. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
enough
because
about the
I just saw
franchise,
Persona. I
so-
didn't see Persona 5, so that's news to me.
I'm like pretty sure. I mean, I wrote this note multiple days ago, but I'm like pretty sure it's at 5.
Well, I mean,
If not,
it could turn out to be
the-
good. I don't want to cast aspersions, but the probability likely is not on its side. And that Death Note was atrocious too, by the way. But
Why
like
you
you
watch
said,
it?
One Piece was pretty great overall. So maybe there's hope.
And the good, but there's good Persona news. Don't worry. Persona 4 Revival is having MAPPA do their cutscenes, which is pretty crazy. That's like an
Pretty
actual
good.
real ass anime.
Yeah, anime
studio and a
studio
good
right
one
there.
too.
Absolutely.
They're most famous for like Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, that sort of thing. So they do a lot of specifically really good action, but they're just a good team in general. So I'm sure they'll do a great job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed off P4's protagonist's awakening scene. Like that's just as a proof of concept or whatever you want to call it, to show off what Mappa's done. It looks pretty good. It looks very good.
Yeah.
Umbra, you really should jump on Persona at some point, my guy.
I do
Come on
want to
now.
get on it, man. It's just like I said,
You heard what Danny said earlier. You got to play great games.
He's just out here too. He's too busy playing. If it doesn't have a lady's butt on it, then he's not going to touch it.
That's not true. Don't listen to him.
That's kind of true.
No, like I said, I'm over encumbered by great games, man. I have so many games to get to, and my backlog is ridiculous. I just got a lot to get through. I'm gonna have to start picking up like 2 or 3 games at a time or something. But yeah, what else do we have, man?
We've got Hiroki Totoki did some what I'm going to call borderline inside trading.
Some Trump-esque insider trading. Yeah.
So fortunately, he did it after their big whoa, but like almost immediately after. Oh,
What was
we got
that?
it. Hold on, we got an Amber Alert. They want me to. I gotta go save this kid.
Amber Alert, yeah.
But anyway, Hiroki Totoki sold 225,000 shares of PlayStation right after they announced the them killing off physical media for themselves.
That's crazy.
Decision. So because he knew that their stock price was going to drop like a motherfucker, and indeed it has. So dude made surprisingly not that much money for selling that many shares. He only made, I think it was 4.7 million. I would have thought that
way lower than I thought. Yeah,
I would have thought that number of shares would have been higher, but it's only half of the shares that he had. But I just a part of the conversation that I want to bring up here is that I keep seeing people try and like rage bait on shit where they're like, who would even buy Xbox if they wanted to sell it right now? And I'm like, I think you're looking at the wrong company. You got the CFO or whatever the fuck Hiroki Totoki is over at PlayStation divesting half his damn ownership. I think you might be looking at the wrong guy. The call is coming from inside the house, and the house is blue, baby. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Now that's crazy that he did that right as they were announcing that.
So
it was a couple days after, but
being a like higher up in a company like that, he does have to file that like months ahead of time with the SEC. That doesn't, and people have been saying like it had nothing to do with it. I'm like, well, it probably did have something to do with it.
More than
It's
likely.
just that like he was filing to sell it at this point, and they were going to make they've known that they were making that. Like that decision didn't just happen the day that they announced it.
They've known
that
months in
decision.
advance.
That decision has also been done months in advance.
Yeah.
So like,
do you
gestures at.
Do you think the sale of all his shares was like taking a little bit longer than usual? And he was like, "No, we have to have it done by Monday. You don't understand."
I will say, with the whole fallout of that has been crazy because they hadn't responded to anything. I think they went off like.
6 days.
6 days was it? I thought it was 5. It was 6.
I'm sure we'll talk about this more.
They responded
for
on
the
the
actual
6th.
topic, but
So,
they can't even talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They're in hot water. They are grounded.
And it's not just Twitter. People keep saying it's Twitter. It's not just Twitter.
Yeah, everywhere they posted, they was
It's all social media. It's everywhere.
It's in Reddit, it's Instagram, even TikTok. I even saw a few
YouTube
TikToks even talking about it. The
who are the
YouTube
people
comments.
Yeah. Who are the people saying it's just Twitter? Does their name rhyme with Smeg Smiller? Out of curiosity.
Someone commented me that like Twitter's not real life. I'm like, cool. Well, number one, it's not just Twitter. Number two, we'll talk to when we get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
In other great decisions from PlayStation news, we've got Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. I still think that is too lengthy of a title, but it is going to be blocked when it comes out from being able to be purchased and played in 132 countries. This is on account of those are the countries in which you cannot get a PSN account, I guess. Which seems like a weirdly high number of places to not be able to get a PSN account on account of there is only 195 countries on Earth. So I guess there's only 60 you can buy a PlayStation in, or buy PS Plus in at least. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. A few moves with that have made people feel a certain way on that too. I saw some commentary on that as well.
Did you guys see the tagline with that Flex Stick trailer?
What's
for of course.
Uh-oh.
I think you might have accidentally muted yourself.
So I think Sony took him out.
It sounded like he got.
Yeah. Is it good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, I was telling Crusader earlier, like it's a new headset, a new mic, so it's gonna take me some growing pains. Anyway, no, so they ended that advertisement for the Flex Stick with a always ready for a fight. That is the most terrible timing to have a tagline like that be advertised. That's
Wow,
couldn't have planned it any better themselves.
Yeah,
but they did.
It's just, it's another. This is less a a physical media issue for them, and more so the decision to pull back from PC. Because the thing was that they were like, oh well, we'll still put our multiplayer stuff on PC like this, even though it's a second party like publishing situation. But then the downside of that is to play their multiplayer games, you have to have PS Plus, and you can't get it in 132 of 190 countries. So
That
you're
is the
limiting your sales
dumbest
in a
thing
different way.
ever.
I don't understand. Like, does Ethiopia not have email? Like, what do you not have in those countries that you can't get
They
PS
probably
Plus?
haven't gone through the certification process to be a vendor there.
I guess that would make sense.
Or
Like,
some
they
countries
don't
may
have-
not
they
just
don't have
have as
a-
good internet infrastructure as us.
Well, no, it's definitely that they haven't gone through the actual like regulatory process to be a company that operates within the borders of all those countries.
I would be willing to bet
They
that
probably don't feel that doing it with those like the individual countries is worth it.
probably not.
Maybe, mayhaps.
It's a weird situation.
I see someone in the chat here, aside from a few of the regulars here. Dr. Dry Rub, by the way, donated a Steam code for Warhammer 40,000 or 40K Space Marine 2. Or is it Space Marine? Probably the Space Marine, the first one. Shout out to Dr. Dry Rub, a.k.a. Joey. Shout out to BT Maverick. I see Mr. Bushido. It's like you spoke him up, Assassin, and he showed up. He said it sounds like my voice is being copied or stolen. Listen, I talked with 108 who drunkenly invited me to a Xbox party, and it was as hilarious as you think it was. And he was just accosting me like, "Why you been avoiding my show?" I'm like, "You didn't invite me to your show, so how would I avoid you?" And he's like, "Come by the 2 weeks after the 4th." I'm like, I said, I got to do the math and figure out what date it is too. I said, okay, the 18th. He said, no, not the 18th. I said, that's 2 weeks after the 4th. He said, no, come on the 11th. So I'm supposed to come by his show this week. Shout out to 108 Dragons, a.k.a. Lemon. But yes, and Mr. Bushido, whose voice pales in comparison to my magnificent melanated voice. But yes, what else were we, Danny?
I mean, we got some other stuff, but it's also 8:40. Do you want to jump to the ones that we're going to talk about for an hour each, or? Sure.
Let's get to the major one. Let me preface this with Asha's statement.
Which shit company are we talking about?
What would you all prefer to start with, Sony or Microsoft? Because I think the Microsoft one would go longer.
Let's start with Nintendo.
The PlayStation one happened first, so that would be my vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just PlayStation first.
Let's go in chronological order through the bullshit.
Yeah. So let me find Sony's statement on this then, if that's the case. 1 second.
You know, it's a bigger issue than they realize even 3 days after they started posting again, they keep getting ratioed every damn time. Community noted every time.
The only one that they didn't get ratioed on was the the announcements of Black Ops 1 and 2
Right.
The straight ports coming.
Oh, don't worry. That outrage has been pointed towards Activision.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's enough outrage to go around. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So
here's what they posted. Let me read it. It says physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. It says in response to shifting trends and consumer preferences, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This was posted by Sid Schumann, Senior Director of Sony Interactive Entertainment, Content Communications. He says his consumer preferences and the broader...
Senior martyr and guy whose name we're forced to put on this.
You're right. Senior martyr sacrifice. As consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that are already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation and how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether that's at retailers or PlayStation Store. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support.
I think my favorite thing about this is the information, like this tweet or whatever that they put it out on, being immediately met with people bringing back up the court records from the Activision thing and being like, hey, so actually all of your first party games since pretty much still since the launch of the PS5 actually sell better on physical. To this day, like Yote sold better physical than on digital. And the only reason why their numbers look the way that they do is because PlayStation is padding the numbers with live service games. Like every time you download Fortnite, they count that as a digital sale, or DLC, or even when you download something off PS Plus, they're just padding the numbers because they don't want to have to give stores their 30% cut anymore. So they're just being like, this is what the fans want. The fans have spoken. But then like they forget that they gave us the proof that no, the fuck they don't. And the internet is remembering.
Yeah. What are you guys' takes on all this? Crusader Assassin.
Before we start, I just want to ask one thing. So I know I have a small brain.
Okay.
I probably have a smaller brain than Danny and Umbra. I have a mega smaller brain than Crusader here.
I don't know about Umbra.
Damn.
All right. So my God damn it, Danny.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off.
All right. So my question is basically, what is innovative about giving consumers less choice?
Nothing.
Can someone explain that to me?
Nothing at all.
What the
Not
flying
a
fuck?
damn thing.
What is innovative about this, Sony? What are you talking
I
about?
didn't even catch the part where they called it innovative, but that's
They said it was
funny.
innovative.
That's hilarious.
What the fuck are you
Actually.
talking about?
Yeah, Danny, I thought that would have been one of the things you'd pick up on.
No, I was too mad about everything else.
That's a Danny special.
I was already seeing red by then. I didn't have time. Like by the last paragraph, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Speaking of 108, shout out to 108.
I blacked out and I woke up in a field surrounded by blood. I don't know what happened.
Oh God.
Listen.
Ooh, all right, Crusader. I know you're angrier than I am, so you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's your feelings on this? And keep in mind, though, I'll let you go, but I feel like I'm going to play devil's advocate on this. But you guys go ahead.
Unsurprising, go on.
There's no reason to play devil's advocate. None at all. Because in no way is this actually better for literally anyone. It only makes things worse for literally everyone. Even people who are fully digitally only, this is worse for you. Why? Because the secondary market no longer keeps prices in check. It no longer enforces the fact that digital prices have to even somewhat go down.
Well,
right?
it's okay though, because PlayStation lets you buy stuff on other digital storefronts, right?
Right?
No,
yeah.
the fuck they don't.
Yeah, exactly. They said that they're still gonna have code in the box, but that's news to me because there's not a single one of their partners can print their own codes, can create their own codes, unlike Steam and unlike Xbox. There's no real market that's going to have actual price control. Because if they just want to stop printing and sending codes to these other companies that they say they're going to print and send codes to, then it's over. Like those companies can't actually sell a product anymore. They can't even sell used pre-owned product like Amazon does, right? Mm-hmm. You can buy all kinds of used pre-owned games on Amazon. This is a disaster for even digitally only people. And I've been trying to stress that to people for days and days and days. If you are on PlayStation now fully controls the prices within like a 20% discount margin. And that's it. That's all you got. You can't go and get something cheaper from GameStop anymore. GameStop can't offer a super cheap discount on a used copy of the game that forces super deep sales on the platform. It's
kind of funny that you mentioned that, Crusader, because when I went to GameStop today to pick up my copy of Assassin's Creed, I was actually looking at the PlayStation section of the used copies.
Mm-hmm.
Pragmata was on sale for $49.99, whereas the new version was $70. And I'm looking at the store page right now. On the PlayStation Store, it's $70. So it's just like you are actively killing the secondhand market, which is exactly what you had wanted for literally 2 decades.
That's the whole point. That's why they're doing this.
That's the whole point.
And people are, and like people, you know, and some people have been like, I'm just gonna switch to PC, and then people have been like, well, you're just trading one digital place for another. Well, number one, PC has multiple stores, straight up, right? Multiple stores that have to compete with each other. It is. I'll get to that, but you have Epic that competes, you have Xbox that competes, you have Steam. Now everyone loves Steam because Steam doesn't fuck them over, but like Steam's only not going to fuck you over for so long. Eventually, Gabe Newell will no longer be in charge of the company.
It will be the second Gabe Newell retires. Second that man retires, they're going to be like, check out this cool little Hitler mustache I found in the closet.
But beyond that, even with Steam and Xbox as a digital store on PC, there are companies that can generate codes that aren't Steam and Xbox and can sell them for less. Those companies have to give a certain amount of they have to eat a certain amount of that from their own take that they would take. But they can do that, and you see it all the time on PC where like Green Man Gaming and things like that sell games at less than MSRP before launch.
GOG.
You have GOG.
I don't know if they do it before launch, but on GOG you have enough ownership, even though it's digital, which I still don't love. You have enough ownership of your game that you can actually burn a physical copy yourself if you wanted.
And then, lastly, with PC as a digital marketplace, if something gets delisted and you want to play it, I guarantee to you there is a way to download and play that game. If a company fucks you over and takes away your code to be able to play a game on PC, I guarantee you there's a way to still play that game. Is it legal? No. But, you know, if we're going to live in a world without digital rights, who the fuck cares if it's illegal? As long as you've tried to do it the legal way in the first place and you got fucked over, I don't give a shit what you know.
If buying is not owning,
then piracy is not
then piracy is not stealing.
Look, I'm not a cop. I'm not going to tell on you.
You know,
I'm not either.
If you legally can't buy the game either, like another thing, like let's say the majority of Marvel games, right? If you wanted to play an old licensed Marvel game, you can't buy those anymore. So like, you know, in an all digital PlayStation, that game is just gone. You're never going to be able to play that game again in an all digital format. All digital PC, you can play that game right now. You want to go play Wolverine, like it was the tie-in game for the Wolverine Origin movie, which is actually a pretty good game from what I understand. Yeah. You want to go play that right now? Well, you can play it physically on Xbox consoles. You can play a ripped version on Xenia from Xbox consoles, and I'm pretty sure you can just get if it launched on PC, I guarantee there's a PC version of it somewhere. An all digital console is a nightmare. An all digital Sony is an absolute nightmare. They just delisted 500 movies and just ripped them straight off of people's accounts that paid for them.
That's the craziest thing. These two things happening in back-to-back weeks is like, what do you mean? Like, who's in charge of the rollout of your news? Are you stupid?
It wasn't even a week. It was literally the next day.
You're not even killing physical media until 2028. You had time to space this out. You didn't have to put the "we're killing physical media."
No one would have noticed if they hadn't put that so close together.
They closed the PS3 and PS Vita store in the same tweet. They closed their digital stores in the same tweet, leaving thousands of PS3 and PS Vita games that were digital only or their DLCs that were digital only as now lost media unless you go and pirate them. Right?
So let me get this straight.
A nightmare for PlayStation.
So PlayStation, you announced you're killing physical media. The same tweet, you're telling us that you want us to trust you in your all digital future. When in the same tweet, you killed 2 digital stores, and not just that. But you're asking us to trust the platform that has a history of having the worst digital security in
Yeah.
gaming history.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you on about?
Literally,
If someone could hack my account,
they'll do better
get
this
me
time.
banned, and I have nothing to play because it's all fucking digital.
They'll do better this time. You forget.
We've learned from our mistakes.
Exactly.
This
Yeah,
time,
they
we're taking all of the
literally-
money up front.
Someone
them
hack
grace.
Sony, please, because they obviously did not learn their lesson.
Well, like, did we not see what was happening just a few weeks ago, where people's accounts were getting taken? If anyone knew any transaction number that was ever made on their account, you could just go to their help desk and say that, like, I need help accessing my account. Here is a purchase number I once made on the account that someone may have posted on goddamn Twitter. And suddenly they have access to their account. Happened to people such as Colin Moriarty, lost his account for a few weeks because of this.
Weeks is crazy.
I think it was weeks. It could have been days. I don't know. But someone stole his account in the last year with doing that. Okay? That was widespread at that time too. It was happening to all kinds of people. It's nonsense. They're
Yeah.
not. They as a company are not prepared for a digital-only future. They're not.
Are any of them really?
At least Xbox is working on that thing to do a disc to digital thing.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Because
still
Because
not
we're even hearing that
One of
even
the
on the
funniest
Xbox
names.
side, physical is still alive and well on that side too.
Physical's doing really
For
well.
now.
Physical's doing very
really
well. And the next generation
at
behind us
PlayStation.
is showing more of an interest in physical media than the generation that we are in right now and the one
Here I
before
am.
us.
Here I am just saying all this.
Hilariously, this could all be avoided by just not making the same mistake the music industry did, where the music industry had to go and correct its mistakes, and just right now, while we have the ability to easily transition the production and everything to scale it down, but scale it down and not get rid of it with making physical media. The music industry, dude, people are buying cassettes in this era. The fucking
It's
magnetic tape cassettes, because collectors love that shit. In no world, if you told me that you were no longer going to offer physical at retailers, and instead you were going to move to selling physical straight to the consumer and being print to demand, when you order it, we print the disc and it comes out you'll get it in 2 months. Yeah,
Video
whatever.
game drop shipping.
Didn't the music industry also say that vinyls are actually selling more now than they have in the previous 10 years or something?
I was
like that?
working at Target in 2020, and every single time we got a new vinyl, if it was anybody with any kind of recognition, we were sold out of that shit before I could even get it out of the boxes. If it was Taylor Swift or BTS or whoever, it was gone.
The fact that we're not these companies drive me nuts because they wanna maximize their profits all the time, but they're shit at actually doing it.
That's the thing, because PlayStation doesn't Jason Schreier broke this down. The reason they're doing it is because they don't want to give a cut to the stores. That's why they're padding the numbers and pretending that digital is more of a thing than it is. There's tons of people who buy digital, don't get me wrong, but it's not this 80% landslide that they want you to think it is, as proven by their own fucking internal documents.
And even if it
I
was
personally blame the ball and
10% of
gun
people,
gamers.
even if it was 10% of people, right? Even if it was 10% of all gamers, that is still a highly monetizable market at 10%.
The industry not doing great. PlayStation first party games not selling great. Yote didn't hit marks. I bet Saros isn't making marks. Are they in a place where they can just be like, you know what, we don't want 10% of our sales actually? Are they in a spot they can do that?
Oh, because they believe that everyone
No.
who wants physical will just switch.
Some will.
I already said that I'm literally only going to buy their game. I said it a couple weeks ago. I only plan to buy their games used. I don't plan to buy a PS6 at this point.
I don't either.
They don't release enough games for it to be worthwhile.
I bought an eye patch.
I'm
won't
gonna.
let
I
won't let you know what I mean by
remains
that.
used.
So the funny thing is, a couple of days after they made their announcement on Twitter, I went to our local video game store. It's called D-Pad, right? Awesome name. great people. They have an entire store dedicated to preserving physical copies of games from every generation, like PS1 to PS4,
Sure.
the OG Xbox, like GameCube. I saw even a few Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
Like they had a couple that they had Ultimate or Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate 3, I think is what it called, or whatever Capcom named it. They had it physically in stock with an actual price tag of like $70, which I know it's a lot of money, but
I've
it's
spent
there and it's an
hundreds
option.
of dollars on physical copies of games. I bought what is it? Cordyceps Saga for the Xbox 360.
Ooh, that's
A game that you like can't get digitally. You know, the Xbox 360 store is gone. You can't buy it digitally on the Xbox Series X because it's not backwards compatible. There's no copy. Like there's no unless you're gonna pirate on PC. There's like no real way to play this game. I've spent $150 to get a copy. And if I can find a copy at a local game store, I'm gonna spend the like $250 to get 50-cent blood on the sand.
Yeah, when I went to the counter, they told me that ever since Sony made that announcement, they were seeing an influx of people like buying old PlayStation games, like old not even just PlayStation, but old Xbox, Nintendo games as well. And I basically just made my decision right there. Like if they're not going to reverse this decision, I will go retro. There are tons of games that all of us can agree that we've always wanted a chance to play.
And if
we can go to these stores and buy those games physically, some of them for cheap. And if you really want to play anything new, just get a PC and like buy on Steam or GOG.
Yeah.
Like there are other ways, and as someone who actually likes most of PlayStation's games, I hope you have an extra eye patch, Danny, because that's exactly what I'll be doing.
Yo ho, brother. Yeah. I'm just saying, me and Skyler picked a really good time to be jumping back into the year 2000 to play retro games for the podcast. Because if this shit goes downhill, we got like 26 years of content before for everyone else to figure their shit out and or go
everyone has that much. Everyone has 26 years of content, like you said. Like
and that's just because we're starting in the year 2000. You can go further back than that. If you, PS1 came out, what, 94?
94, yeah.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate to this whole thing.
You
don't have to do that.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. I
do want to say one more thing before you do.
Yes.
I would also like to remind everyone that Sony's the company that wanted to outright charge you for the next gen versions completely of games. They didn't want to offer the upgrade pads at all.
As Microsoft is.
We had to make them settle for $10 upgrades.
That is true. They want us to nickel and dime.
You're trusting that company with your digital future, right? That's why this is ridiculous.
It is absolutely.
And people are gonna get really fucking pissed at Xbox for the human element of laying off 3,200 people. Yeah. Brother, the death of physical media is going to have a magnitude of 10 at least impact worldwide on jobs.
Yeah.
It's going to kill companies like GameStop completely. It's going to kill like the secondhand stores. You're going to see tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs lost globally from that decision. But like it's not going to be directly PlayStation. Right, but that's the cold naked truth of it. It is a like disastrous situation for hundreds of thousands of people.
And I think all of that is very true. The problem for it. Let me read some before I do anything. Sure. Mr. Bushido, who of course does his best Umbra impression and fails spectacularly. Drops a $2 donation. He says, "When are Umbra and Assassin doing a face reveal?" Assassin.
I will do it whenever Bushido stops horn dogging over every nurse he sees.
Oh, that's not going to happen then.
You've done a face reveal. You've put your. I mean, when you were on like not King was it King? No, not King David. Who the fuck? You've done like interviews where they put your picture on the thumbnail. I've seen that. People know what you look like.
They've seen me before, so.
Yeah, hey, you already.
Wait, that's actually Umbra?
Yeah, that's my handsome self. Yes.
People have seen me too before.
Yeah.
I haven't, and I feel left out.
Shout out to Lemon, as I said, Finn. Nerd, shout out to my brother Nerd. Nerd says, "Let discs die."
Why?
And
Why?
Get out of here, nerd.
I'm gonna get flagged for this.
before
and I'm
you
really
get flagged,
but someone's got to say it.
Before you do that, hold on, let me finish this part. So,
All right.
right, I'm gonna do it anyway. So, my brother, Mr. Too
I don't know
Opinionated,
that song.
aka Inferno, drops a $10 donation. He says, "For GTA 6, get to the yams." Thank you, my good brother. Thank you. So, Nerds has pointed out, he said, there is a tunnel vision to the problem, though, by suggesting that the solution is limited to just continue making discs. Let discs die. I'm also playing devil advocate, by the way, as he's playing devil's advocate.
So-
Now, I want to give my
and
thought
then
to
do
it, but I'll let
what?
you go ahead,
Okay.
Assassin. What do you have to say to that really fast?
So I'm gonna get flagged from everyone in here, and and you know what? I'm gonna be the bad guy. I'm gonna be the actual bad guy here.
Uh-oh.
Everyone who dismisses this problem, or everyone who says, "Oh, this problem does not affect me," whenever January 2028 comes into play,
Yeah.
I genuinely want everyone who said this to lose access to their digital library immediately.
Yeah, like it's
Like you are acting, and then when that happens to you, don't come crying to us, because you lost all of those games because you supported this future where this is a possibility to happen to you.
Well, to be fair, it wouldn't
And
matter.
if
It wouldn't
and if
matter
what
if
I
they
said
supported it or
makes
not,
you mad,
to be
then
fair.
you know damn well that I'm in the right.
Well, no, I mean, look.
I'll
if you,
point out,
if you
though, it
vote
wouldn't
with your
matter
wallet,
one way
you
or
can make
another.
No, it
I don't
absolutely
think
does.
so.
You can vote. You can vote with your wallet and have them turn that shit around.
Listen, Sony's
Guaranteed.
not changing.
We already did
Sony's
it once
not,
in 2013.
Sony's not changing.
Because all it takes is one recent game that launches digitally.
Let me introduce this to you guys, and this is why Sony isn't changing, right? So Jason Schreier broke down the physical versus digital for a $70 game. First party, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, physical, their takeaway is $45.50, digital $70. That's a 54% higher return in investment.
sell
right
it
there.
direct. Don't sell through third parties then.
Hey, there's more.
Sell it direct
But
from
wait,
a PlayStation site.
But wait, there's more. Third
That's a
party,
good idea.
EA, Take-Two, Ubisoft, etc. Physical, $35, digital, $49, 40% higher. The reason why they're going there and why everyone is increasingly going digital, I believe Xbox is, 80%? Is it like 80-something
yeah,
percent?
they're the
for people?
highest.
Yeah, like
They
Xbox
are
is
the highest,
mostly
but
all
yeah.
digital.
I bet
PlayStation
those numbers
gamers are
also
going that way.
inflated, though.
I get why you guys say what you say. You're not wrong in what you say. I'm not saying this to combat this. I'm only saying this to say, despite your best efforts and cries of this, Sony is going to do this for the simple reason that they're getting so much more return in going all digital. Is
They
it
can get
fair?
the
No.
same
Will they?
return by selling it direct to customers and just cutting out GameStop.
They're
Right.
doing
So,
by
you look
doing.
You look at Schreier's math, and Schreier's math, the majority of the cutout from it is because they have to cut in Walmart and they have to cut in GameStop, and they take a cut of it.
Or
Sell it
Amazon and such,
sell it
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
sell
well,
it-
but here's the stupidest part is PlayStation came out after the fact and they were saying, well, we're still gonna sell boxes in the stores, so they're still gonna do the
stores
same
are still-
fucking cut.
The stores are still gonna take the same cut. Actually, yeah. So
They're
like,
just
the only
giving
thing,
you nothing.
the only thing that they're saving is like the $8 on goddamn fucking
On shipping, 'cause the box will be a little lighter.
Yeah. Well, no, and the production of the disc.
I think that's.
Oh,
I think
sure.
though. I think some of this is recency thing, like a recency thing too, right? Because
What?
I would imagine they're going to stop. They're going to do exactly what you're suggesting, which is leave it to only getting access through them. I think
In their
that's what-
article, that said they're going to sell it through the boxes at the stores.
I
We'll
think
see if it happens.
that's what
but
they're
that's
saying
they
now.
said.
I think that's going to change because the way they're moving suggests that they would do that, right? Because they're already doing a wall garden for
Them
how you
se-
access their.
Them selling
telling you-
empty boxes is genuinely stupider than them
It's a
just going all digital.
straight
It's the
waste.
stupidest fucking thing on the planet.
Yeah. To be
But
fair, they're not the
the
first
thing
to do
is-
it either. That's the funniest part.
Correct.
is
Well, you're
like,
not wrong.
yeah.
No, Grand Theft Auto is going to be
They're
the
doing it
first
with
major one to do
every
it.
single game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been
Whether
a
it's
problem.
first
This has
party
been
or
a
third
problem
party.
for a minute that should have been addressed. I
And-
think because people got away with it before. Then when people
And
really
people are
should have got
saying-
on people about it.
People are saying, are discs the only answer? Well, right now, they kind of are the only answer to this problem. because discs solve another problem that I don't know that anyone on this panel has, but there are lots of people who do have either data cap limits where how much they can actually use, that like they have to pay for like the terabyte of data that they use on their internet. Or they just don't have a very good internet connection because they're in a rural area, right? Discs offer an offline installation method, at least if they're actually properly done. Not all are. Most are. Not all are, especially from Xbox itself.
Or you make the mistake of moving to one of the 132 countries where you can't play a fucking PlayStation online.
So let me read
Discs
a few more of
do
these.
not require a server to authenticate. Most don't. A handful do. Most don't. And that is like, I hate the guy who does it play, because he's a prick. However, they do actually test most of these discs, and most discs that are released do act as proper offline installation media. It's only a handful of AAA games that do not.
Yeah, I think it was like
Grand
5 to
Theft Auto.
7% of games on disc require internet.
Yeah.
So the data cap thing, right? That's like a really big issue already, because I don't know if y'all have been seeing the rumors about like how big the fucking install size for Grand Theft Auto is going to be. But your cousin in Nebraska he's going to need 2 months to download that shit.
Normally
He's going to have to pause download and wait 30 days.
Normally I'd say that like you could get around this with some kind of USB key and just switch to USB keys, but that's so much more just in general so much more expensive than printing a disc. Discs dirt cheap. In bulk, you as a consumer can buy them unwritten for like $1 a unit. That's to the consumer. Well, to these companies that are buying them in even larger bulks, they're getting them for like 20 cents, 30 cents. You try to buy a USB key that has the content, the same content size right now in the AI era where no one has NAND memory. That shit's gonna be so much more expensive. Right now, discs are the only solution to this.
I think the disc argument though, and Nerds actually addresses this in a second. I'll get to that, but let me read some of these first before we go too far. BT Maverick drops a $5 donation. He says, "Is S4S Assassin going to purchase the adorable all digital PlayStation 6? Well, are you?
Hell no.
You're gonna buy there's no way in hell.
You're telling me you're not going to get the
$1,500.
PS6? Is that what you're saying, Nerds?
I'm probably not.
I mean, not Nerds. I'm sorry.
I'm
Assassin.
not.
I'm thinking of Nerds.
Hell no.
I didn't. So, and people are like, "Oh, Crusader, you'll give in." The only way I'll give in is if there's a launch Ratchet and Clank title or an actual Ratchet and Clank title during the generation.
But see, you're not as big
Maybe
as a PlayStation fan.
But you can just pirate it.
Assassin is.
PS4.
Assassin is more of a PlayStation fan than you, though, right? That's why I say I don't know if I believe that Assassin. I'm
PlayStation is my preferred platform, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna bend over backwards for whatever Sony does.
Listen. So what will you play?
Now, for some people in chat who bend over backwards for Microsoft, I do have questions. But other than that,
where will you play though? That's what I'd like to know. If you won't get the PS6.
If I'm not buying a PlayStation 6.
Yeah, where will you go?
Well, okay, so if PlayStation's not going to do physical media, and if Xbox is not going to do physical media, like we all know that they're not going to, they could take advantage and do a completely 180 of what Sony did to them 13 years ago, but they're not going to do it. If they're not going to do it, and PlayStation's not going to do it, I'm going to do 3 things. 1, I'm going to get as many old school hardware and games that I can.
Yeah.
I will continue to support whatever first-party Nintendo games will come out, because they at least put their full games on the damn cartridge.
I wonder how long that'll be going for them.
Yeah, I know. Until they stop doing it,
I
then
don't imagine it'll be too long.
So,
for them
and 3, I
think it
will
probably
go
will
to
be a
PC
very
as
long
well
time that they
for
keep
any
doing
new
physical.
games.
As long as physical is popular in Japan, Nintendo will find a way to continue to do it. Because Japan has like a ratio of physical to digital. It's like 80% physical to 20% digital.
I see.
Yeah.
So
Which is
like,
actually what PlayStation is too for their first party titles, but they just don't want you to know that.
As long as Japan has the crazy attachment to physical, they will. And I mean,
the one thing that Microsoft could do that could shock everyone is create something that is akin to their what's the custom controller production line.
The custom. You talking about the special?
Where you can basically go in and fully customize a controller.
Oh.
With all of the special stuff. What is it called?
Oh,
Xbox
the
Design Lab.
yeah, Design Lab.
If they wanted to, they could create a structure like Design Labs for people to print their own games. And charge a surcharge with it where like it's like $15 on top of whatever the MSRP of the game is.
There's
and
no way
sell
I'm doing
physical
all that.
direct to the customer.
I promise I'm not doing any of that. I hear you on it, but I
would
never
combo
that.
super well with their positron, with their the positron program that they are supposedly
Project
coming out
Positron sounds like some type of transformer.
With well, it's a whatchamacallit, a subatomic particle that makes.
Now that I think about it, it's actually the stupidest thing in the world for PlayStation to be the first one to do this, because they're the motherfuckers who own the Blu-ray.
They don't have to license
exactly
the
why
actual...
it's smarter for them to do it, because now they're discontinuing
they own
that.
Anyone who prints on that disc, they get money for it.
Yeah, but they're discontinuing.
I honestly thought that Microsoft would be the one to jump in first and get the backlash again.
So they're deciding to not make money, to instead maybe make money somewhere else at the cost of pissing off
They're
everyone.
attempting to convert
I guess
their.
the juice hasn't been worth the squeeze.
They're attempting to convert their. Nothing's ever not worth the squeeze. Companies are idiots.
I don't know about that. I think there's
Correct.
points. There are definitely points where they're not getting the return they want. I mean, we see that now with some of these games that have been canceled and such, or at least now games that are being canceled
the companies
because
don't
of
know
these
that till it's
studios
too late
being
because they're
closed or
fucking
sent
stupid.
elsewhere. But
There is
listen, regardless of
absolutely-
that, let me read this too. We've got a few more super chats, or at least one more. And I wanted to bring Nerd's words into the thing. So Mr. Too Opinionated donates a $2 donation. He says, GOG is the truth, true ownership. So
For now.
Nerd says that the problem does not affect me, is not my argument, though. He says, you're confusing my argument, Assassin. He says that problem number one, discs don't guarantee access. Problem number two, advocacy for digital rights has nothing to do with discs. Problem number three, having a physical game is not limited to a dead medium. This is why I gotta have Nerds on the show with us.
I don't even know what Nerds means by that third one. That's a nothing sentence.
He probably means that like you could go from discs to like flash memory. Problem with going to flash memory right now is that flash memory is fucking expensive and discs are not.
And like we just said earlier, to refute the first part, 95% of games on disc are playable without connecting to the internet to download.
Having stuff burned on a disc is way safer and longer lasting than flash memory is. Way longer lasting. People will go, oh, but disc rot. Disc rot only happens in like if you keep them in like the filthiest, most unwashed, humid areas, or if you
keep it
got
in your
a disc
barn.
from a bad batch in the year of like 2012.
Right. What's more likely to happen, disc rot or PlayStation loses like rights to sell a thing and takes it out your library like they already fucking did?
I see no reason as a consumer to defend this position at all. None
Literally
whatsoever. Zero. There is no. They offered zero additional value to their ecosystem with this. Nothing. You're like, even if you're a digital only player, this does nothing for you. They're not making games cheaper because they're digital only. They're not doing any of that shit. They didn't talk about any of that shit. If they were planning to do any of that shit, they would have talked about it. Why? Because it would have made people not as mad.
At least Nintendo had the nerve to do that too with their recent titles.
Yeah, well, because they have to. Because before Ramageddon and before NAND memory went insane, it was already $23 a unit for a 64 gigabyte Switch cartridge. Post Ramageddon, I don't even want to imagine how much cost Nintendo is eating.
I also think it's an incredibly it's such a stupid argument to me to be like, oh well, there's this very small number of games where they don't put the whole thing on the disc already. Therefore, it's okay for everyone to not put the game on the like. What the fuck?
Mandate the companies could mandate that the games have to be on the discs.
What do you mean I couldn't kill 10 guys? That guy in Massachusetts killed a guy.
This is what I'll
what
argue.
do you mean?
This is what I'll argue from my understanding of everything is that. And shout out to Flood. He says the man who knows everything has entered the chat. Shout out to Flood. By the way, Flood, don't forget that the GTA 6 fundraiser is going strong. If you feel so inclined, please donate.
You're clinging to a medium, not a solution. Then what's the solution, nerds? Provide one.
I'm going to give a thought to a solution.
45 to 50% of PlayStation players buy physical games. It's not a dying medium. What are you talking about?
I think it's going that direction,
though. Problem that needs a solution.
I think it's going that direction. I think some of y'all are not being too realistic about this. And this is what I'll say.
Hold on.
Let me cook really quick.
You're just wrong.
Hold on. Let me cook. I think they're definitely going that direction. I mean, again, Xbox has shown
just because
it, and I think
haven't bought a
PlayStation
physical game in a while.
It's true.
Right?
I don't like physical.
Because you moved to PC where they already focus.
This is exactly what I said earlier.
Well, I moved to that.
Anyone
PC
defending this
well
bullshit should lose access to their library immediately.
See, that's a. I think that's a terrible way to look at it. Well, you don't like this thing that I like, so you should suffer. Like, no.
That's what you're saying to people who want this.
But that's what you're saying to us.
I haven't made my argument.
But that's what everyone is saying to us.
No, that's not what they're saying. Most people
are
on your side.
Even the people that are explaining that this
didn't actually give you an actual solution yet, so you can't say that. Listen, so this is my thought on this. And I hear what you guys are saying. Ultimately, I think you guys are right because of actually having your rights to your game you paid for, right? Now, I'm not on the side of dropping what you paid for. Never would I be on that side of that. What I think has to happen, I don't think physical is the problem. And that's where I think Nerds is coming from on this. I think the problem is in the law. The problem is in the writing. It's in it's in the what's the word I want to use here? It's in the agreement, right? There has to be a change in actual digital rights and that is put in law that even if Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo, whomever, were to go digital like that you have ownership to your game and they have to provide it no matter what changes they decide to make in going digital. That's what I think needs to happen. It's not a matter of having a disc. I think the disc thing,
but they're not going to, Umbra. That's the thing.
But that's my point, though. So you can't say give a solution and we give him like they're not going to do that. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Can do though. But that's an actual solution. Like that has to be something but put into law where you can get that. I think that's the way to go around it, where they can still get what they want in terms of moving to digital to get their profits, and us getting what we want and having the viability of digital. And all the good things that come with that, plus
there's
actually
nothing good that comes with digital other than not having to drive to a store.
No, I think
for you as a consumer,
we already know that the government will gladly take publishers' money, so they're not going to give us digital rights. So what other way are we going to keep this medium alive?
I would never say never. I don't know what can happen or what can't. So I think it's not probable, maybe. But I'm saying if we're talking about in terms of things that could happen, that is a viable solution. That is a viable solution. They could say yes.
I don't think
somebody has to step up, right?
There's no offline use. Like that's a massive problem.
And I think that's part of the thing they'd have to correct. I think it'd have to be a part where they have to correct the offline portion of it. But that wouldn't even be
with digital, though.
I mean, you'd have to build so much infrastructure.
How do you correct that concept with digital where you have to go online at some point to download the digital
I think they would have to probably make it
any form of
maybe they would have it where I think Microsoft has something where how does Microsoft handle it with theirs when it comes to the offline authentication?
That's different. There's a difference between offline authentication for actually playing a game you've already installed and the first time installation. With a physical disc, you never have to go online. Ever.
I just want to say, y'all are picking a fight with the IT guy at the group. I'm not sure you guys are going to win this fight.
Well, it's not a matter of winning.
I'm talking about physically, with a physical disc, I can, with zero internet, I don't have to worry, whether I have internet or not, whether my ISP is working or not, or whether the CDN on Microsoft's side is working or not, right? A physical disc, you plug it into your thing, it installs, you download, you play, right?
That doesn't
digital,
account for everything.
At some point, you
that doesn't
have
account
to
for
go on the
everything,
internet.
though. I think you're missing out on some details. Most games we get nowadays have a day one patch. That's almost every game we get. So you're going to have to have online. You're going to have online access anyway. You're going to have to have it anyway. Like almost every game you get, no matter if you're putting a physical disc in or if you're getting it digital, is going to have a day one patch.
You can still play most of them without the day one patch.
How so? By ignoring and having your game being flooded with issues?
The further into AAA you go, the more bugs you get.
100%.
The further into indie you go with physical, the less bugs you get.
Well, that's the point, though. Most people are trying to play these mega AAA games. Who's trying to play like,
so
I got I don't know, AA Rogue Light. Like, no, that people are talking about AAA games. And they're saying
has all of the problems in the industry and glass the fucking the shit out of their profit margins.
No, the point of it is that you're saying that you don't have to have online access. Yes, you do. Almost every game released nowadays, you have to have online access day one to get that patch. Almost every game
But you don't need the patch. If you want the patch, then yes, you need online
do
access.
Need
but
the
you
patch.
don't need
You're
the,
saying
you do
that
not
you don't.
need the
I
patch.
could disconnect from the internet and re-download Elden Ring
versus
without
one
it.
are two different things. You're saying if you don't want the patch, you need the patch if you want the game to run well.
You do not need the patch.
No, let's differentiate.
You're
talking about want versus need. If you want that game to run well, then you do need the patch.
You do not need the patch.
Okay,
this is just semantics. There's that guy that.
So you're saying that you're going to have a game that runs like crap because you're saying, well, I don't want the patch. No,
okay,
you're going to advocate to get that patch. Let's be real. Let's stop that.
Well, no, but let's be real. Usually, even with the day one patch, it still runs like shit.
That's sometimes. But your argument is
what we're doing is we're giving away all of our digital rights and ownership rights.
The hope that is going to be running terrible, and that you will accept that. No, you're going to 9 times out of 10 get that patch. They're very necessary. Let's stop playing like this. Well, I don't have to get the patch. Yeah, and your game is going to run like crap.
You do not need to get. So your solution is allow them to put out broken
there needs to be laws put into place that they have to do this. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that's a viable solution that could be done where there are laws put into place no matter if it's digital or not. That's the solution. You all are only literally arguing that. No, I like physical. That's what your argument.
That's not what we're arguing. That's not what any of us have said at any point for the last 20 minutes.
That was not the case. Centered around. I want a physical object. That is what it is about. So if I'm saying
because that's the one thing they cannot take away.
That's my point. So I'm saying to you, the only way to really get around that is to have laws put around it. That's it.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
But let's say that they do that.
I'm only saying that. I'm only saying this in a sense. I'm not, mind you. I'm on the side of you guys when it comes to ownership. Don't get me wrong. I'm only saying if we want to go the route of full digital, and that it'll satisfy both parties, even if you have to have the inconvenience of getting online day one for a day one patch.
It's not necessarily an inconvenience. Sometimes it's an impossibility.
Well, for who?
For anybody with a data cap or people who don't have good internet
so if your argument is that for anybody with a data cap and all that, they have that problem now. So that's not going to change then. So that's
irrelevant. They can put a disc in and they can play it.
No, they can put a disc in and play a crappy game. That's the point. So
they can play
have a day one patch.
As opposed to not.
They can get a patch, and the patch is a fraction of the data size.
Hold on 1 second. Nothing happened. You guys still see this?
See what? I don't see anything on the. I don't see anything on.
I don't see anything either.
Went off on my end. What the hell?
But you know, let's say you have a. Let's say you have a 100 gig game, or let's say it's 60 gig game. That'll fit on most.
No one is arguing that it has to be discs. First of all,
yeah, it can be whatever physical media. Discs are just the only logical option during Ramageddon.
They're just the cheapest one.
They have enough money, resources, and the capability to figure out a way to give us an actual physical alternative, but they won't because all they care about is making more money.
That's a fact. They only care about making more money. That's not even an argument. I get that argument 100% on that when you say that. You're not wrong. My point though is what is the solution? And the solution is Sony's not going backwards. They're not going to be like, okay, we heard you.
No,
that's not
going
happening.
Out of business.
They're not going to go out of
That's what's
business
happening
either.
instead.
Most people are
Okay.
going to buy this. I'm listening. I hear you
As
guys.
soon as they go all digital, 132 countries can no longer buy their product.
and they're going to find a way around it. I'm telling you, they're not going to do what you guys think, and that's going to go backward. I guarantee they're not doing it.
Okay,
I don't think they're going to go backwards either. I do think that they're going to have a massive problem selling a $1,000 or more digital-only device.
I agree with you on that.
They wouldn't be offering discounted PS Plus subscriptions if they weren't having issues.
Well, they're offering it because the PS Plus is
everyone's
trash. That's why they're offering that. So let's not get that twisted. You said that like it was a quality service or something. But by the way, Nerd Flood said bring back laser discs. He said while we're ready, let's go back to tapes, VHS.
I mean, that's literally what the music industry has done. They have gone back to tapes.
They went back.
They sell
it's on cassette. It's on vinyl. It's on
vinyl.
Look, you figure out a way to put Grand Theft Auto on vinyl, I'll buy it on vinyl. I don't give a shit. But I need it in a format that they can't just take it away from me. And I think that the idea of like, oh, okay, but like the thing of looking at the day one patch and being like, well, we need to have online access so that they can give us a broken game and fix it later. No, fuck that. They should be putting out a game that works.
Yeah,
why are we allowing them to get it? Why are we giving? No, but hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Why are we letting them do worse, put out a worse product, and in order to allow them to later fix it, we're also giving them away all of our rights of ownership and all of our rights.
I hear you on that. I think the problem is that that's been going on so long. Trying to argue now about
it's a lose-lose.
It is.
There is a breaking point.
But that has been
a
going
breaking
so
point.
long in terms of what you just talked about. There is no like that should have been addressed then. It is too late for that now.
It is not too late.
It's not.
Then
it's too late.
It is
for
never
digital
too
rights.
late.
If you're arguing that it's too late for, if you're arguing it's too late for that,
I
then
think
it's
what
too late
he's
for
talking
digital
about
rights.
specifically is too late. I think if it's calling the digital rights, to your point, Crusader, if they have such an expensive device next gen, which is likely going to be, and if the PlayStation faithful are not like buying 18 versions of the PlayStation 6 as I've known them to do with past devices. If they do that and send 10 toes down on this as you guys are, then they'll have to change. I don't for
Are we
one
just gonna
second.
pretend people didn't
not
buy
for
like
one
15
second,
different versions of the
not for
360?
1 second do I believe our Hood brothers are going to do what you guys are suggesting. Not
With
for
whose
1
money?
second. With their money.
With whose money are they going to?
They're not going to do
Are
it.
they going to buy a $1,500 console?
They're going to do it with their money. I'm telling you, listen, I know PlayStation guys right now who bought 5 different PS5s, and anybody in the chat who knows what I'm talking about knows I'm telling the truth. 5, and they don't use them. I even asked for one, like, "Hey, give me one of those," and they were like, "Nope."
So they bought.
I gotta get Jim Ryan his yacht. That's what they told me. So I'm telling you, these PlayStation faithfuls will definitely buy this thing. This is not a dance you're gonna win here.
Oh
They
yeah,
are
sure.
gonna
The
do
10% will definitely buy it,
Okay,
but the
but here's-
90% where Sony actually counts on, they won't.
If you're
We'll
buying
see.
5 at 500, that's 1 2/3 at 1,500. You know what I mean?
No, that thing was
those people will
600.
still buy.
The
They're not
PlayStation
buying
5
at
was
1,500. They are
Umbra, you're
PlayStation 5
confusing
was
the
being
fanboys for the fandom. That's completely irrelevant, dude.
I'm saying in general. I think that
You're
PlayStation has
confusing the
market.
10%
I'm not
for the other
confusing anything.
90%, dude.
I know the hardcore. I know what's hardcore and casual. The problem is PlayStation still has a lock on the zeitgeist. Those casuals are going to get it too. If you all think they're not, I guarantee they are.
They will.
It's going to have to be a brand. By
They
the way,
will not.
by the
I
way,
don't
the
think-
masses.
I don't
Hold on
think
one
the
second. Let me
casuals
say
are
this.
gonna buy
Let me
either
say this. The
console.
casuals, by the way, don't give one.
The casuals
damn.
will get the Switch.
The casuals don't
What
give.
are you
No, they're
talking-
not. No, they're not. The casuals don't give one
Yeah, they
damn. No, they're not. They're going to get that as a side console. They're going to go where the major heavies are at, and so these black hole games. If they continue on with that into the next gen like that, which they will, they're going to get the next gen. That's going to happen. So I don't know where you all get this thought, like, oh, they're just going to stop. No, they're not.
Some people will.
Brother, the cost is going to. I don't think that. Like
The cost
do you-
alone
do
You
you-
all
will
are
turn
living in a
people
dream
away.
world
the
if you
video game
think
crash of the
if
80s?
you all
I'm
think
living
that
in a
these
dream.
guys are going to suddenly
got
stop
bills.
buying PlayStation, I got a bridge.
They won't
to
be
show
able
you.
to. It's not that they.
They will definitely be. You think they're broke?
They
They're
will
not.
not
They,
be
they got
able
enough money to
Umbra,
buy these
people-
things. They sink
I'm-
thousands into these black hole games. Yes, they do. They have the money to get it. I don't know why y'all think that they're suddenly not going to do that. They are.
Okay, first of all, if you're talking about sinking thousands in, you're not talking about the casuals.
I'm talking no casuals do that too. We call them casuals. There's an argument that could be made.
$1,000 on Fortnite.
There's an argument that could be made about when I say casuals, I'm talking about the people that don't play the robust amount of games we play. Of course, they're not really casual quote fingers, but I'm talking about those who don't really talk about gaming like we do. That's all I'm saying. So I don't want to get mixed up and muddy. But those guys, those are whales. They're not stopping. They're going to get the next consoles.
No, and there's one of those for every 100 normal players?
Yeah, what whales that continue playing these black hole games? All of them are like that.
That spend $1,000 on Fortnite.
Over time, they all spend that. Be it Roblox.
That is not true.
Yeah, all these guys. Why do you think things are going the way they go with Game Pass? All of these different things are happening because of these black hole games. These guys are sinking tons of time into 2K, into Madden, into Call of Duty, into Roblox, into Minecraft. They're putting time and money into all these things and not buying these robust amount of games. That's why Xbox is
They're
having
not
issues.
putting $1,000 in.
They're putting more than 1,000.
They are not.
Over lifetime, they're putting much more than 1,000. Guaranteed.
How many games last a lifetime? First of all, most of these live service games have like 10 years on them.
No, that's my point. These guys, mind you, most of these games are coming out yearly. Madden and all these games I'm naming, they're coming out yearly and they're buying them. This is not. I don't know why we're having this debate. Like this is.
Yeah, but I don't consider them gamers. I just consider them
addicts. They're not buying anything.
I'm telling you right now.
They're not buying them. You saying?
When they're free to play, no, they're going in and they're playing the game.
I'm not just talking about free to play is also the problem. But I'm talking about the ball and what they call them, the shooting ball game.
The ball, the gun and ball and gutter games.
What they call them, ball and
I don't consider them gamers. I consider them addicts.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. They're already having trouble getting people to switch to the Series X and PS5 to the fact that we're still supporting the Xbox One and PS4 for almost all of those games. And you think that somehow they're going to convince the people who haven't upgraded yet to upgrade to a $1,500 machine? You're insane.
I think if they cut them off, it depends on how they handle it. If they cut them off and say you can only get this on here, yeah, they will. The problem is most of them might not do that. No, they don't. If most companies say that's if I'm giving you the if. I'm not saying they're going to, so I'm not insane. I'm saying if they say, hey, you can only play this on the next gen console, these people are going to move next gen. That's just how it's going to work.
Sure, but the games you're describing aren't even the games you're describing aren't even owned by a platform holder.
100% if that would be the case. I'm saying I'm not saying it's going to be the case, but if they decided to do that, 100% these people would be moving next gen. That's a fact. They wouldn't stay there and just give up. No, that's not how this works.
The only one of those games that's even owned by a platform holder is Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Like Madden's not doing that. FIFA would never do that.
That's my point. I said if they do that. That's my entire argument is around that. I'm saying if
you're
they
also
decide
talking about a group of. You're also talking about people who routinely buy a console at $500 at the beginning of the generation. This next gen will be the first time we will have a console generation that is over at least that is a grand or more, and in a time where we cannot afford that game, the gaming is becoming more and more of a luxury hobby.
Kind of cutting in and out, just to let you know, Assassin. The point of it is irrelevant. I'm giving you hypotheticals. I'm not making an argument to what is going to happen. I'm saying if these other things fall into place. No, that's not true. That's not true. There's nothing. Nothing's a zero chance.
Falls from the earth and takes
nothing is a zero chance when it comes to this type of things. If the matter of it is that EA and these other places did, or companies rather, did what I'm talking about, these people would move.
Summon Meteor.
That's just a fact.
Danny.
Let me read some of this. Umbra, have you jumped into the Doom Revelations DLC? Not yet, BT. I bought it, though, earlier using my Microsoft Rewards points. I spoke on it earlier. It's Newscast. He says the patch take is definitely top worst 5 takes I've heard all year. The Nerd says, but Daniel, when I said, I like how you typed your full name. When I said why discs should die, you said it didn't make sense.
Because it doesn't make sense.
I think it does.
It doesn't.
I'd have to have my boy Nerds get on here and argue his point. He said problem number 3, having a physical game is not limited to a dead medium. And he says, but that's not a physical game problem. Nobody is going to stop buying PS. That's right. Nobody's stopping. I don't know what this fantasy some people have.
Okay,
they're going to stop.
First of all, a ton of people will stop buying.
So are we just going to pretend that PlayStation consoles haven't declined in the past 2 months?
PlayStation sales. Look how many they
Their
sold
sales
through.
have fallen off like
Look
crazy.
how many
Sales
they
have
sold
fallen off,
through.
yeah.
by
Are we going to
50%.
pretend like we're not at the end of this gen and they haven't sold through 95
No,
million
they fell.
copies of their SKUs?
Because they increased
Irrelevant.
the price
They sold through
$200.
95 or 95 million. It's not like they were like, oh, we're only at 50 and then that's it. No,
They're
they sold through
selling at the
95
worst rate since
million.
the PS1.
Irrelevant. They're selling
No, it's-
more.
No, it's
This
not
is more
irrelevant.
no, it
That's
is.
not
I think
irrelevant,
that's why.
brother.
Yes, it is. All of
That
y'all
is
trying to
not
talk while I
irrelevant.
talk
That's
is not going to
crazy.
work.
You're
These are
crazy.
consoles are more than
the
the PS2.
same amount for the
Hold
PS1.
on one second. The PS1 don't cost nearly the same price, and they sold
Exactly.
more of
That's
these
exactly.
95.
Exactly.
No, it's not exactly. If those were cheaper and it sold that much, this is more and it's so close. What are you talking about? That means this made more money for them. And it's y'all talking like they sold 35 million or something.
money for
They
them.
sold like 95 million different consoles. What are
And
you
that's
talking
95
about?
million people who are not going to buy a PS6
Nah,
if
that's
it's
not true.
$1,500 fucking
You have no
dollars.
proof of that. And you have no proof of that. That's an assumption you made up. But
If-
by the
when
way, let me
PlayStation
read this
6
last
comes
one.
out at
Let me read this last
$1,500, do
super
you
chat.
think it will sell
Let
at
me read
the
the
same
super
rate
chat
that
and I'll
the
get to your
PS5 did at
question. Hold
launch?
on.
That I need that
Mr. Too
question.
Opinionated drops a $5 donation. He says it's too late for console gamers to have rights. They have accepted too
I'm
much
gonna be real with you,
nonsense.
Danny.
Let me finish
I
reading.
think the PS6
I'm
will
reading.
sell
I'm
just
reading.
about as much as the
Assassin.
Wii U.
I am reading literally. It's too late for console gamers to have rights. They have accepted too much nonsense, and it's a done deal. I have moved away to escape the flood. Pray. Mr. Too Opinionated here, Mr. Inferno, moved to the promised land of PC.
Right, a place that already has no rights. Great, cool. I'm glad that you made that choice for
PC
yourself.
gamers are very content for some reason. Why is that? But go ahead, Sass.
Because
Well,
they fire
let,
most of their
us
things,
not
which is
pretend
the
that
only
Steve,
way
that
around it.
the moment that Gabe Newell retires
Yeah.
or leaves or God forbid
You're
croaks,
fucked.
that someone's gonna come in and make the platform even just similar to what PlayStation and Xbox are
If
doing.
you have such
Let's
a
not
very
pretend that
pessimistic
different
view-
management can't come in for GOG and make it worse.
Okay, so
Come on now.
This is part of the problem, I think, right here. You go off a very negative hypothetical, and then you say, "Let's not pretend that this is going to happen." You
Whoa.
don't know what is going to
What about-
happen. Why did
What
you
about all
jump
the
to?
negative hypotheticals you've been bringing up for the
No,
last 30
I'm
minutes?
giving hypotheticals of saying, well, this could be the case.
What the fuck we
Maybe
talking
it
about?
could be that. He's saying quite literally is going to be that. He said, "Let's not pretend
It's-
that the next person that comes in is not going to do that." You don't know that.
It's so
who do you
funny
think
that
it's
people
gonna be?
are willing.
I don't
to
know,
give
but I
up
know it's
how
not. You
things-
can't just declare that and make it like it's a fact.
It-
Y'all are
it's
talking
so
like factual
fucking
off of
funny
nothing. You all
that-
know. You don't know anything, and you all are talking that's very factual. It's very weird to hear this.
It's so fucking funny that people are willing to give up the way things currently work, which are great for the consumer, to hypothetical. Well, maybe if we fight to get rights that we don't have, and we're not actually even trying really
That's
to
funny
fight for
because
right
that's
now.
exactly what you guys are arguing. If maybe if
No,
we
that's
all
the
fight
exact
together,
opposite.
you all are quite literally saying
The
if
only
we all
way-
stick
the
together.
only direction
I'm,
where you
I'm
can
making
go
a
from the
statement.
top
You
is
all are
down,
quite
Umbra.
literally saying if we all stick together and fight against Sony in this and stand 10 toes down and not doing this, they'll have to give up. That's what you're
Yeah,
arguing.
I'm actually doing so.
That's
I'm
quite
actually
literally
doing
what you all have
something.
argued this whole time. And I'm telling
I'm-
you, in reality, Sony is not going to do shit. Sony is going to do exactly what they're doing. That's
And
why
if
they.
they do,
That's why they
Umbra, let's
ignored.
just say
Hold on.
hypothetically
That's
they
why
do.
they ignored people when all that time and all those days for 6 days. You said Crusader because they are
No,
sticking to
they
this.
lost. They probably had all kinds of deals to market things with their partners that they did
Let's
not do for
stand
6
together.
days.
And,
'Cause-
and I'm sorry, real fast. So PlayStation's doing great. That's why Hiroki Totoki sold half of his shares.
Yeah.
Who knows why he
What are we
did?
talking
The
about?
man is greedy and was getting over.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's okay.
And he knew the impact initial. That doesn't say anything except he knew the initial impact would be people having a reaction like that. That doesn't mean
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
By the way, Nerd says let's not pretend the console gamers didn't also choose digital. By the way, that's facts. Vote with your wallet.
Again, incorrect.
Hold on, let me finish my
40 to
sentence.
50%
Let me
of
finish my
people still buy
sentence.
physical discs.
You all have to stop cutting me off mid sentence.
You're cutting
Vote-
us off mid-sentence.
I
What the
know
fuck
I
are you
am
talking
not.
about?
I've let you all cook
we've
for a
always done
long
that.
time.
That's not new.
Yeah, but I'm quite literally reading it and you're
That's-
like jumping in.
that's
Let
what
me
this
say the
podcast
You
words
just
first.
start reading them while people
Crusader,
are talking.
you're
though.
cutting me off as I'm trying to read it again. Let me say my words. Nerd says vote with your wallet. 90% of gamers choose digital.
They don't. That's an
They
incorrect statistic.
Incorrect. They literally got community noted, the actual evidence that proves that's
Yeah.
not the case.
From the Insomniac hack. It's so funny, right? That when you look at, especially when you look at data of like games that they're actually releasing physical, Like, it's so funny.
So
Like,
Flood
the
says
games
PlayStation is
buy-
actually in great shape based on last quarter financials. Of course they are, and they're going to
Because they
stay
had to
that
close
way.
8 studios and fire thousands of people to make that number work. But no,
they
you're
didn't.
right. Yeah, they're doing
only
awesome.
700 total, didn't it? Wasn't it?
No, it's been a lot. They've laid off 600 just from Bungie.
No, it's 400 from Bungie.
No, it's
been
been
a
a
400.
total of
Still,
a total
either
of
way.
700 actually. No, they actually I thought it was
Since
more
the launch
too.
of the PS5?
From my understanding, yeah, I thought it was
That
more
is
than that
not
too.
good.
I thought I was
'Cause
surprised
they've
actually.
closed 8 studios.
They have. I would have thought it was more too. I swear I did. When I saw that, I was like, "This
Well,
can't
I
be
think
right."
that number's just wrong.
That's what,
is
that's
what's-
what I thought too. I promise I
what's
did.
going on here.
Because I tried to combat it like, well, Sony, and I looked like, oh, let me shut my ass up. So yeah, Sony actually have only apparently laid off 700 people total, like 700 and maybe a few people. Yeah,
I don't think that's. There's no way that they laid off 400 from Bungie and only 300 for just Bungie.
did all Bungie though?
No
No, I don't think all
It
Bungie
was,
is.
it was
They did 400 just. From
It was
Bungie.
literally half the studio, which is
Yeah,
like
it was-
400.
That's crazy.
But that's not just
I
from the one
can't-
layoff. They've done like 2 or 3 waves, so it's built up to a total of like a lot. So there's no way that they've laid off 400 from one studio, also closed 8 studios, and that number is still only 700. That's not possible.
Oh, that's what they're saying. I think
they're
the studios they
wrong.
closed are so small that they're probably so small that it seemed like it would be worse, but it wasn't. Nerd says the fact that 90% of these gamers purchase as physical game at some point doesn't mean that they don't mostly play digital, is evident by the top played games. Oh, and let me read this before we go on. By the way, did you all satisfy this topic because it is
Yeah.
okay 9:43. I don't have to rush, so if you all want to keep going, I'm all for tonight.
My-
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just- I'm just all
Now it's Microsoft's turn. Let's yell at them now.
Right.
Yeah. that's
I
fair.
do want to get your
It'll be
closing
the same
statements on
thing.
this because it seemed like it's not closed. But
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm
Two Opinion,
just,
let me read this real quick. Mr. Two Opinionated drops a $5 donation. Thank you again, brother. He says PC is bigger than one store. LOL. Worst case, we sail the high seas. Most console games will fold unless it's Xbox or gamers. I
Yeah.
think he was saying. Yeah. Most console
Well, I guess
guys. He
even
said. My
Steam
bad.
is bigger than one store.
Yeah.
Look,
Like-
and I'm not even against the idea of turning to the high seas. I don't think I can legally push it on a podcast. But I won't stop you from doing it. But at the same time, like, that's not helping the developers. That's not helping PlayStation or Xbox or whoever. Like, you're just not giving them money. So that's not solving their problem either.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think even with me playing devil's advocate, I think we all agree. Rights to our purchases has to happen, and I think
Yes.
though the only thing I'm looking at is what can we do. I'm looking at it in the direction of what can we do, knowing they're not going to revert. So I think there has to be laws put into place, and I think that's why Congress.
Are you writing your
Things of that.
congressperson right now about it?
I am not, 'cause-
But here's my.
but I'm saying that's what we have to do, right? That's what I'm saying we would have to do. That's the stuff
But
we got to
here-
make moves toward. We got to.
But here's
That
my-
is
here's
the
my
thing
bottom
we can
line.
band together. That would be the one that we got to start
I'm
contacting
just
these.
not
God
spending
forbid.
money, and I've elected
That's one
to
way,
not
yeah.
spend
That's
money.
not. Listen,
Well,
I think
here-
you will stick to that. I just don't
You know
think
I
the
will,
mass.
'cause
I
I
know
won't
you
say things
will.
to do it.
I don't think the masses will. I don't think Assassin here is saying that he's
Okay.
going to go back to these
Okay,
old
okay,
games.
okay.
You're going to get the PS6 to Assassin. I know you.
No, I'm
are.
not.
I guarantee
So-
you'll have that. Yeah,
Umbra,
well, you're right.
talk guy who literally did not play on Xbox, literally sold his entire
You're not an Xbox guy.
physical
You're a
disc
PlayStation guy.
collection.
You're a PlayStation guy. That doesn't
Well,
impress
you
me.
were an Xbox guy.
But
No,
I
and
was an
you're-
Xbox
you're-
guy.
You have
Right.
didn't you say
I-
you were
it
historically
literally-
a PlayStation guy?
Not
Didn't you?
surprise me that it pisses some people off that I actually hold myself to my own values. That's
that
just
doesn't
that's
piss
just
me
how
off.
I am.
What makes you think that pisses me off? You think you think I'm emotional about you?
He can't be
Well,
emotional.
I mean,
He
not
can't
you.
even-
I
I mean,
don't-
it
stood
didn't
up right
say
now, he
you,
called
Umbra,
you.
but
He
I
can't
know
be
that
emotional.
some people in this community hate the fact that I have the ability to move on from a platform whenever
I will
want.
believe it when I see it when it comes to this PlayStation. I just don't believe that anybody who's a hardcore gamer is going to suddenly be like, nope, unless you're moving forward to the PC.
I
To
think
the
they would just
promised
move to a
land.
different platform. And honestly, I don't.
I
PC
literally
could be
said
the
what I was
place,
going
but
to
it's
do.
not gonna
Retro,
be-
Nintendo, and PC. That's literally what
Well,
I said I
no,
was going to do.
For you,
Say
yeah,
that,
yeah,
Umbra.
yeah.
We'll see.
He did
For you,
say
for
that.
sure.
I
Well,
know.
hold
I
on,
heard
but
what he
hold on.
said. I'm just saying I'll
we at
wait to
least
see it actually
agree?
in action.
Umbra, you've
Hold on,
known me for
Kumbaya.
2 years. You know when I say something, I always do it.
Listen. I said a bunch of things that I've changed over years. Everybody does. That doesn't mean that because you say one thing that you're glued to it for in perpetuity. I don't know that you'll stick to that. They might make moves that might make you say, hey, well, they did this. I like that. That's all I'm saying. You don't know what could change. That's all. I don't think that it does. I don't think there's any type of integrity.
There's
in
only
saying,
2 things that will make me
hold
get
on,
a
let me
PS6
say this last
Umbra.
part.
Either...
Let me say this last part.
All right.
I don't think there's any necessary integrity you need to hold to saying I don't want to get the PS6. Get it if you wanted it. Don't get it. Right? There's nothing like it's not like we're gonna be like, aha. Who cares? It's your money. So trust me, I'm not going to be the one trying to like hold you to the flame. So when I say this, so trust me, I'm not emotional about your decision on this. I just don't believe that anybody's a hardcore gamer like you or me.
Going to do it.
I just don't believe
when you know for a fact that I hold myself to a higher standard.
All of us, all the guys here present, you, Crusader, Danny, myself, I think we all hold ourselves to a strong standard of things. I don't think that means that we won't cave to certain things. That's my point. And I don't think it's a negative if you don't. Look at me with the Grand Theft Auto fundraiser. People were like, oh, you said you wouldn't do it. I'm not technically because I'm getting the community to fundraise it for me. But I'm just saying I would be in violation of what I said. You see what I'm saying?
That's better than spending your own money?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You think that's less gross than spending your own money?
Well, maybe not less gross. Maybe not less gross. But maybe not less gross.
You don't have to spend.
You know, maybe not less gross to Danny's point. Maybe not. But I'm just saying. I found a way to circumvent it. I just say I think when it's something enough what we want, we make way for it. We make way and leeway for what we want to get. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Can we just all agree on one thing at least, though? Because I agree we do need digital rights, and we've needed that for a long. We're not going to get it in the current administration, but we're going to we need it at some point.
No, we're not.
We're not going to get it in the administration as long as the companies can lobby more money than we can.
That's true.
The worst publisher in the industry, Ubisoft, managed to stop the Stop Killing Games movement, or at least delay it, and they're the worst publisher. What's going to happen if all the other publishers come in and actually say, yes, exactly?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Embracer probably worse.
I don't think Ubisoft is worse. Yeah.
Can we just? But here's my point. Can we just all agree that we shouldn't allow physical media to die at least until those laws exist?
Concur 100%.
Can we? Because we need to have
that's what I'm saying.
We got to at least. I mean, come on.
So let me read a few of these.
There is 2 ways for me to get a PlayStation 6. Either one, they back off and they actually put in a disk drive, or what Umbra is saying happens and they actually sign in laws that actually give us actual digital ownership.
That's a third way
that all publishers have to abide by. But that's not going to happen.
There's a third way I can't say out loud, but anyway, Santi Lou says PlayStation has laid off about 1,000 to 300 to 1,500 since the PS5 launch.
Yeah, that sounds more reasonable for a company their size.
You might be right about this. I mean, I saw the math and then people said 700, and I'm like, is that right?
It could be 700 in the last 12 months.
Maybe
who was reporting that? Did his name rhyme with Schmeg Schmiller?
Listen.
Anyway, no, I gotta read Nerds real fast because I love it. My list of demands: digital rights preservation, games in Library of Congress. He's holding a fucking gun to the back of the head. Here's my demands.
Sign it right now.
We already know that those 3 things are not going to happen.
Sign in Mitch McConnell's ghost.
To keep the norm as it is.
I do think we will get digital rights at some point, but it's going to take it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. No doubt.
I say we hold Mitch McConnell's ghost hostage until they do.
I was going to say he's dead.
Oh my God, he's dead.
That man's dead.
Shout out to Abdel.
Was he actually confirmed dead, or is that just a thing?
It's been rumored that he's been brain dead, though.
All right.
Which is
he's been brain dead for 45 years. I don't think that's a new piece of information. The man's a turtle.
Jesus.
Yeah. Listen.
The only reason he's still alive is because turtles live for fucking ever.
Santi agreed with you, Crusader. Says nothing will change as long as money is in government. I think that's a major problem for sure. Yep.
There's no reason
these problems go to the top for sure.
To respect this decision. None.
No.
None. No reason to respect it at all.
I can't believe that I'm saying this.
You in the slightest. None whatsoever. Everyone should just be like, hey, either fix shit or get fucked. That's what people should say.
We live in a society where the government vetoed not to pass a law to ban underage child
Yeah.
Don't say the
Beep.
rest. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
What
saw
the
that.
heck makes you think that we're gonna get
Like-
digital ownership at all?
I saw that.
It'll come after the revolution, you see.
The great age of the piracy has begun.
When General Mamdani leads us
General
to the promised
Mamdani.
land.
The only person who I want to hear giving an explanation as to the business reasons for this is someone like Jason Schreier, who's a reporter for a financial paper.
Bloomberg.
That's it. He's the only person I want to hear actually give to justify Sony's actions via their business model and what their shareholders want.
Funny enough,
Not
that's
Didn't
what
he
I
actually release a video saying that though?
that's
fucking
exactly what I was
shit
reading that from.
What
Actually,
their shareholders fucking want.
that was, by the way,
Yeah.
to that point.
Shareholders.
To that point of view of saying that was what I was reading, the breakdown of their physical
Yeah.
versus digital.
Yeah.
Was from
Yeah.
him. But let me
Yeah.
read this really quick. Sin Sears asked a question to us. What's up, Sin? He says, "I'm playing Keeper. Can someone answer this question? Why in the world is Keeper still not 60 frames per second on Series X?" That's a good question.
I can answer that for you right now.
Why is
Because
that?
it's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's actually probably because Tim Schafer would put it at like 15 FPS if he could, just to make sure. And
probably true.
just on your account.
Look, frankly, we're
like-
lucky that game came out.
Yeah.
Because now that they're independent, we really do need to get to the second story here.
Yeah.
we do.
But now that they're independent, like
Going to be
they
independent,
can't
but
be
not yet.
making games like that. Like
Y'all are lucky that Kiln even came out after
Keeper.
Keeper.
Yeah, like their next game has to be a monetary hit, and I do think it'll probably still be published by Xbox, so that'll help the financials a little bit. But like,
I'm imagining that the next game they'll be making is going to likely be Psychonauts 3. Would you? I think because they
I
have to.
think
I think
it'll
it will
be
be
a
a sequel.
large. I think it'll be a 3D platformer
yeah,
on the scope of Psychonauts. Is it Psychonauts 3 or is it something new? I couldn't tell you. But
It could
like,
be-
I think it will be something. I think it will be a 3D action platformer, new IP or Psychonauts 3.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like it'll be a sequel to something. I feel like that's
Yeah, I think so.
pretty much
too.
the only more
Actually,
like, guaranteed.
Wow.
Psychonauts 1 remake. I don't know who said that.
Oh, that could be
Chad.
That'd
good.
be dope.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be dope.
Psychonauts
Yeah.
1 remake would be a great way to get something out quickly and get money.
Some money
like,
in the door.
Some money rolling.
Yeah.
That's actually a Psychonauts remake, or even a what's the like really fucking weird cult classic music.
Yeah, hell yeah,
strategy.
yeah, hell yeah. Brutal Legend. was
Brutal
literally,
Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
was
like-
literally
Legend.
seconds from bringing that one up. I was like, personally, I want a Brutal Legend too. I
Yeah.
don't think we're gonna get it.
Get
That
it.
would be
Yeah,
something
so
that I don't think
Get
it's
Jack Black while he's
if you
still
read-
young enough to do it. Yeah.
Well, because Jack Black was also in was in Psychonauts as well.
He
Um,
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Black
Um,
and Tim Schafer are friends.
Shout out to Abdel. He says give us AAA good stuff. No more art house weird shizzle. It sounded like something they actually would say inside of a Psychonauts shizzle.
I don't think. I mean, I love Double Fine. I would never have qualified them as triple. Even Psychonauts, I think, is like high
Yeah,
double.
they-
I
like,
too. Yeah, I
they're-
kind of think that was
they're-
AA too. But yeah.
yeah.
Like
I never understood the people that say that they were glad that they got Game Pass because they wouldn't have played or noticed any of the indie games that are on the service are actively the ones that are okay with these moves because they make games like that. Like what?
yeah.
So you want it for this reason, but you're also happy that they're being sold off because they didn't make the big AAA games. Like what? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Which is it?
So I'm partway in between. I'm happy that they're selling them off and not fucking closing them.
True.
Because
That's the
they
one
make
saving
games
grace.
like that, and Xbox doesn't want to necessarily fund games like that anymore. So like, yeah, I'm happy they're selling them off. I guess we're just moving straight into this topic.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
let me-
selling off
Oh, yeah,
half
that's
of them,
fair.
and then the other half are just going fully independent.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
is,
so
I mean, honestly, for Double Fine, like they're gonna be fine. Like they will find a publisher to publish their next thing.
Or they'll
They'll be all right.
crowdfund like they did Psychonauts.
Yeah,
For
that's what I'm
sure.
thinking. Either
Yeah.
that or
It's gonna be one
crowdfunding.
or the other.
Well, let's maybe start it
Well-
off with reading Asha's post
Yeah.
and email.
Yeah.
She sent an email to that day, which was the what day was this? The 6th of July. She says that this is an important email I sent today to all employees at Xbox. Team, we are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. After careful consideration, I've made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 throughout fiscal year 27. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today. In addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I want it to be direct about the scale. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. Our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than our comparable platform and publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9 with a similar install base and at a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. As that happened, our core business is weakened, and we added more teams, more investment, and more time, hoping for a better outcome. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. We must reset Xbox. First, we will reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP, catalog, and runway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its work council to review potential strategic options. We are also making reductions across other units, and in some cases shifting investments to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard King Mojang, and the Xbox Game Studios. None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions. In addition, is it Mojang or Mojang?
Mojang.
Mojang and King will now
Mojang.
report directly to me. She says, bring them over. These two studios have increasingly become platforms and are our largest monthly active player by our monthly active players. They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. Second, will we reset our platform? We know that great technology gets better when it's simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management. Our platform teams are 40%, that was crazy, are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation, even as our player base and playtime have declined. The complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we will simplify. We'll reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible, 3. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that is built around individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved in the work while developing their teams, and directly responsible individuals, DRIs, who own key decisions and outcomes. And we will streamline how we work across our tools with cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spend. Third, we are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Teams, studios, and functions often operated independently, and it became harder to work toward a shared goal, make the right trade-offs, and get things done. For the first time, we are establishing a chief operating officer with end-to-end P&L responsibility.
Which is nuts that it's the first time.
It is pretty
That's
crazy. Yeah, it seems like she's getting some things in order. I will give her that. Across content, hardware, platform, and services, Helen Xiang, I was going to sidestep, but I'll speak on Helen in a minute. I actually talked to somebody about her. Has been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang and Minecraft franchise. She will bring our businesses together under one operating model, making sure we make clear investment decisions, learn from our successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable for results. Thank you, Dave McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years at Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform that millions of players rely on every day, and has been a trusted partner through many of the biggest moments in Xbox's history. We wish him all the best. These changes are about a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've seen before. This year, we'll invest in as much as Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and gives everyone an opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we will return to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that make mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them. Asha. So, that's a lot right there. It's even more when you read it out loud.
Yeah, I was going to be honest. I didn't think you were going to read the whole thing. Lady,
I almost stopped. I'm like, damn, do you want to keep? I swear I almost stopped. I'm like, damn, Asha, how much you read? Let me read these 2 super chats and then we can get into this. Abdel drops a $2.49 pound, I think £2.49 donation. Thank you, brother. He says, for GTA 6, shout out to all the SE workers. Love you, Asha McG. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your fundraiser donation. I appreciate you.
Wait, Asha McG? She ain't my wife. What'd you say? Wait.
He was just shouting out Asha, didn't you, as well?
Okay.
Shout out to Santi Lou, my friend. She drops a $4.99 donation, $5 donation. She says, Xbox focusing on mobile games is the next best move for them. That's where the money is in gaming. Took them long enough, though. Yeah, that's a major one. Is that K-Med off Twitter? Is that my brother? What's up, brother?
I don't think they need to.
Hey,
I don't think they're planning on focusing on mobile games. I think they're just planning on supporting King and doing it. I don't think they're gonna start making fucking Bethesda do mobile games or anything.
Well, Bethesda's already doing mobile games. Pick a different.
Shelter.
Pick a different studio.
Yeah.
So how do we break this down, fellas? Because that's so many more details involved in this that I'll have to bring up as we go along. But yeah,
I think there's so many other things that came up. Like I'm sure it's just going to come up as part of the conversation.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I think all of us are going to be in agreement on is like, this fucking blows ass, man. Like, it's really bad. Like, there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of silver linings that we'll bring up throughout this, I'm sure. But like, the overarching story is like, this sucks ass. Like, this is really fucking bad. Like, this is a lot of people losing their jobs. There are other things unrelated to the actual people losing their jobs that piss me off almost as much that I do want to talk about before we get out of here, revolving around people reporting on this bullshit. But I don't want it to be lost at any point during this conversation that like, there are aspects of this that went better than I was expecting. That doesn't mean this is good or okay or at all.
100% agree.
I like, you're not going to be catching me out on social media telling people to be like, actually it's not as bad. Like, no, light them the fuck up. Like, there should be no company that can lay off any number of people, let alone near 3,000, because I think I think that number includes the people who are leaving from the studios.
It'll be close to 2,800.
So like, which is still fucking crazy. Like, that's not.
It's nothing to scoff at.
Switching it from 32 to 28 is not a sugarcoating.
Right.
But like, no, light them the fuck up. Do everything. Like, don't go crazy. Don't be doing like bomb threats or death threats or nothing. But yeah, let them know. Let them know that that's not okay, because it's not. I agree that it's not Asha's fault, but like, she is the one pulling the trigger, and it's Microsoft's fault. And there's a lot of the people at the top who are still there who made the decisions that led us to this. So yes, absolutely, light them the fuck up. It's a shit show. Even though I do agree with some of the things that she has said, namely the cutting out the middle management, the 14 layers of management is fucking insane. There's some things we're going to talk about how they've redirected people onto certain titles that I think is a good thing. Like, there are a lot of things that she is saying in here that I do think are the right choices, but the overarching event is a fucking shit show. Like, it's a goddamn terrible.
And there's some things like within it that are like the right choices, but obviously they're doing it completely the wrong way, like in software.
Yeah.
Like they want to focus on Doom and Quake, but they let go of like all of the engine developers at id Software.
I was surprised to see Quake on that list. I'll be honest with you.
I was too
so,
a little bit.
I don't know if you've played Doom: The Dark Ages, it's kind of clear with like the weird Cthulhu nonsense that they were setting up a like Doom and Quake shared universe. Almost.
I could see that. Yeah.
Like that's how Doom: The Dark Ages felt to me.
Was there a Quake more not including the remake than the like
Quake Champions
multiplayer
was the last.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, Quake Champions was the last besides any of the remakes.
Okay.
Or the remasters.
Remasters. Yeah, whatever.
The ones that the ones that Night Dive did. Like
right. Which are pretty good. I played really good. A couple of them. I mean, I'm not a huge Quake guy, obviously, because they came out 20 years before I came out, but
yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna probably end up talking more about the silver linings during this because it's you can only describe how bad losing 3,200 employees, laying off 2,800 of them is. You can only describe that so many ways as bad before you run out of words to describe it being bad, right? So I also don't want people to think that I am approving of the situation or anything like that. There are some things that I think I very much do approve of. Like, if this was PlayStation, they would have closed all of the studios and kept all the IP internal.
Right. That's probably true.
So it's so sad and frustrating. How are we feeling about the Obsidian stuff? That's the thing that I wanted to talk on the most.
I feel multiple ways about that.
Yeah.
And like to touch on that, with Obsidian, they had around 25% of layoffs hit them. The workforce, which was about 60 to 70 people being laid off, and that was anywhere from producers, artists, designers, programmers, QA testers, writers, and others who worked on their games. I feel two ways about this. It's very bittersweet. One, in that obviously these people losing their jobs, when Obsidian has been this workhorse especially, it feels like a stab in the back a little bit, right? Like they turned in, and it's not, the games haven't been for everyone. I understand that they're not the biggest money makers. I understand all of that, and I know that some people might not really care for them. I think that they're not up to the snuff of AAA, right? But I will say that Outer Worlds 2 was phenomenal to me. I thought Avowed was pretty good. I loved Avowed for what it was worth.
Mm-hmm. That's like a favorite game last year.
Yeah, and then they put
Grounded. I think
Grounded,
pretty successful.
Grounded's been pretty successful. I know they couldn't monetize it. They probably won't with the microtransactions. Pentiment was dope.
Yeah, I mean,
Pentiment did very well critically.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Critically, they're doing okay.
That game was made by like 10 people. It didn't cost anything.
True.
Right.
Its margins were actually probably pretty high.
And that's where I'm at with it. And that's the problem, I think, is that like even despite Pentiment being this a passion project, that's whatever. Yeah. But I think the problem is that they didn't bring back a big ROI, right? But it sucks that these people have been workhorses, turning in all these at least quality games. They're not the best of the best, but they're at least quality. And then this happens here, and they're laid off anyway. And the same thing with EdTech devs. Actually, it felt the same. Yeah. Like, damn,
same thing. Yeah.
But it is the silver lining is like, at least you are going to Fallout like we all wanted you to.
Yeah. See, I was surprised that they weren't already working on it.
I am too.
From what I had heard, it's been on the docket for a while.
Yeah.
They're just like moving it up.
Supposedly they were working on a Fallout game. Then Bethesda didn't want them to anymore, so they retooled the game that what's his face, Josh Sawyer is making into a very close to Fallout but not Fallout game, and it has now been retooled back. It's now being retooled back into a Fallout game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Because the previous management just, there's no reason that I'm sorry. If Bethesda is not actively making like a Fallout game, there is no reason that they should have a say that another studio within the organization can't make it. I'm sorry. I don't care. People are all like, but it's Todd's baby, and I'm like, well, yeah, but Todd didn't fucking create the franchise in the fucking first place.
That's true.
Interplay
Yeah.
and whatchamacallit did.
Yeah.
No,
And
yeah.
he took it.
Ironically,
like-
Fergus Urquhart did.
Yeah.
Over at fucking Obsidian.
Yeah.
that's-
So
that's
I don't
true.
want to fucking hear that like Todd should have a say in whether Fallout should be made by another studio.
He
You
can
want
advise on
to
it.
say Elder Scrolls? He could be more protective of the Elder Scrolls. That's fine.
Sure.
That makes more
They're
sense.
letting others.
Yeah.
I mean, they're letting other studios work on
But-
that though. ESO's working on that shit.
But
Yeah,
Fallout
exactly.
should have definitely had at least a game. At least a game.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, so should Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls should have had a fucking game in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bethesda is
Skyrim's one of the
Damn,
best selling
Starfield.
games of all time.
moving so slow.
Like people glaz the shit out of Fallout. Fallout, as a franchise, has like no shit on Skyrim. Like as a game that the
True.
casuals and hardcores flocked to alike. There's a reason why they keep putting that game on every platform because it's one of the best selling games of all time because everyone fucking loves it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like, I don't want to say mismanagement. It's just poor vision. Because even
no, it is
outside of
mismanagement.
Fallout, like they had the
was
ESO
mismanagement.
team who all got let off, by the way, who all
Yeah.
got laid off. Why not, instead of putting them for the ESO online, have them literally make a maybe a spin-off Elder Scrolls title? They could have done that
Fallout MMO
instead.
or something.
Yeah.
I mean, they are specialized to MMOs, so it would probably have to be something in that ballpark.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the mismanagement comes in at the part where Josh Sawyer, the guy who made one of the most successful Fallouts, one of the probably most people's favorite Fallout of the modern era, at least at the
It's the only
3D
good
era,
one.
I should say. They're all good. I'll fight you on that. I'll bite you.
In Vegas.
But
yeah.
but yeah, when he comes at you and he's like, I want to make another one, and then you're like, no, Todd said no. That's mismanagement. That's 1000% mismanagement.
Yeah.
That's a fuck up of crazy proportions. And I hope that they're able to retool it back into Fallout in a way that doesn't feel weird, of that you used to be a different guy. You know what I mean?
How do you think? How do you
Luckily,
think
it's supposed to
Todd
be a very
reacted
close
though?
game. I don't
Okay,
give a
so
shit how
so
Todd
it shouldn't be
reacted.
too far off. No, Todd can eat my ball. He's gonna
Todd's
retire in
worth
like
millions
5 years
and-
anyway.
He's worth
That-
millions
that's-
and
that's-
millions of dollars. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
get
what
it. He can
that's
crop
what I was
himself
telling
to
my
sleep.
friends. That's what I was telling Red and Arcane when we were in a chat a few days ago. Like whenever we were discussing Bethesda taking so long to make their games, why don't they just let another studio take charge? I said it before. Todd is not going to stay around forever. He's got to start training the younger
next
generation at
generation,
Bethesda. What makes Bethesda games special?
I'm sure.
And it can't just be the engine. Yeah, I'm sure he does, but it would be nice to know who he is or who she is.
Yeah.
It would be nice. He's got to realize that he cannot keep Elder Scrolls and Fallout all to himself. It's
Especially
those two IPs are now too damn important for one man to hold judgment over. Like, oh no, only I can have the power to make the. No, that's not how this works, buddy.
Exactly. It takes like 7 years to make a game. If you're throwing Starfield in the rotation, especially, we're not going
And Fallout
21
76.
years. Yeah, 76 too. Which I guess is still technically a Fallout game, but whatever. Like we're not going 21 years without a Fallout game, Todd. Like you're going to be retired before the Fallout 5 is done. You're not going to. Todd Howard is not going to work until he's 80 years old.
Nah.
He's not going to do it
I'm
because
surprised he
he's got too
stayed
much money
around
to
as
bother.
long as he did.
He's not
actually.
Miyamoto.
I'm surprised he
he's
didn't
still
go
there.
out around the same time Pete Hines went. Like I know
Same.
Pete Hines went
Yeah.
out because of sour grapes, not because he was retiring, because he was a little bitch. But Todd Howard, like he's got all the money he needs. He could go and retire and go live on a beach for the rest of his life and never even have to
wear all the
think
little
before he swipes a charge
leather
card.
jackets he wants and been to
You know
his
what I
heart
mean?
content.
Yeah, but Danny, gotta re-release Skyrim just one more time.
They can do it without him, and they will too.
Yeah, I know they
'cause
will.
I mean, it still sounds. It's crazy. Like them redirecting. I didn't know the part where they had already wanted to make a Fallout game and got told off. That actually pisses me off. The fact that they're getting spun back around onto a Fallout is, without a doubt, the correct decision. So the one thing that I will push back on, in terms of how it's been reported on, is people being like, they canceled Avowed 2. No, they didn't. They
Yeah,
are
they
putting it.
only kind of did. Yeah.
It's
They
just
only
they're-
put it on hold.
Yeah.
We're focusing on this other project that was already in the works, is what you're telling me, because they were already working on it for it to be something else. It wasn't going to be Avowed 2, right?
Well, so Avowed 2 is was like going to be their
was
next
going to be
game
the
to
next
launch.
one. Yeah. So instead, they're focusing on this other one. But like by the time that comes out, because I'm sure they still got years on developing that, Bethesda theoretically will be working on Fallout 5 after Elder Scrolls 6. So at that point, like you don't need 2 studios working on it necessarily at the same time, but you should always have one in development. As far as Fallout goes, Fallout and Elder Scrolls should probably always have something going.
Yeah.
And if you've got a team like Obsidian who can take the off years, then I don't know why you're not doing that. But I think my assumption, and we won't know this for years. Someone's mic's going crazy. I'm sorry. But my assumption is that they're basically just going to push Avowed 2 until after Fallout New Vegas 2 or whatever is out, and then that's probably going to be the next major thing that they do after that.
I don't even think they'll get a chance to get back to Avowed.
So
What, like
right
they're gonna
now,
close them down?
if you actually read the article that Jason put out and some of the commentary from Chris Avellone, whether you want to believe his commentary or not, they currently still have developers working on it in order to repitch it. So basically, they're looking to retool it internally and either repitch it or determine whether it could be salvaged or should be scrapped. It's not totally canceled. That's why, like, yeah.
I don't know. I like the cancel part is not the thing. I think that they're going to prioritize, right? Going by how Asha worded it, I think that the priority is going to be for Fallout, which it should be, and for Elder Scrolls to get out there. So they're going to be basically made factories.
Granted, they could probably retool whatever they were doing for Avowed 2 and turn it into a goddamn Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
Like they're
could.
not that they're not like the lore and stuff is different, but mechanically they're not that highly different of games.
But I wouldn't want Obsidian to just be the other Bethesda. You know what I mean? Like them doing Fallout makes a ton of sense because it's their guy. But I think in the off years between Fallout project, like they should be doing Fallout pretty consistently. Well, but I think in the off years, I think it's totally fine for them to push a franchise like Pillars or these other ones that they've built up. Because frankly, I think Outer Worlds is a more beloved franchise than Starfield. So like, yeah, you can do an Outer Worlds 3 after Fallout, whatever, and I think that would do well enough. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing is, Obsidian's one of the few studios that actually is like well oiled enough to actually have a multi-threaded development process where they are working on many games and get them out. I do think one of the largest problems that Obsidian faced with their last several games were not the quality of their games and were not the what the games were. It was explicitly marketing surrounding them.
I agree.
Xbox did not market. I barely knew that The Outer Worlds 2 was launching. That's how bad their marketing is.
It's been a major issue they've had for a long time.
A major issue with marketing that they do not actually put their games out there, and they do not shape the narrative of their games like other studios do.
Hopefully that'll turn around because they did hire those didn't they hire like 2 or 3 new like heads of marketing or some shit? So that hopefully they'll fix some of that.
That needs to change. As for like the studios that they're selling, because I gotta get running here in a few minutes. The studios like Ninja Theory and Undead Labs.
Yeah.
It is actually kind of a miracle that 4 out of 5 that they're selling or letting go independent. The 5th one, Arcane. Arcane's just going to take forever because of French laws. I actually do think that they'll find a buyer or spin them out. In fact, the previous owner or the previous founder of Arcane, who now has like Wolf Eye Studio.
I saw he was saying how much.
Yeah, he was like how much. He was intrigued with how much.
My question is, what happens to Blade?
Well, they're putting that out.
It gets picked up by PlayStation and it becomes a PlayStation exclusive.
I guarantee that there will be wording that will prevent.
I guarantee that would be the most hilarious thing to ever happen.
Yeah, it won't happen, but because
it won't.
Because it's going to be the same situation because they're already working on it. It'll be the same situation that they have set up for State of Decay 3 and Senua. Is like they're still publishing that, they're still funding that. Like that is still their game. They're giving the IP back, so that I mean, obviously they can't give the fucking Blade IP to Arcane because
I'm not actually sure that they're still publishing it because we know with State of Decay it's not beholden to any regular Xbox rules. Like it's believed that State of Decay 3 will no longer be a Game Pass title.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they're not publishing it. Like that would just mean that as part of the sale, they were like, you can do what you want with it. We'll make a separate Game Pass deal if we need to. Like, I think that they're still going to be the ones who are publishing it. I'm pretty sure.
But with those, it is a miracle that those studios are getting sold and getting to retain their IP. Like that's crazy.
That is
And
pretty
getting
crazy.
runways. Like they're
And
not just
funding runways.
The ones that are being let go independent are not. We don't.
Not
I
being
assume they have
completely
something
cut
in the works.
off.
We don't know. We don't know what it is. But they're not just like, all right, have fun, figure your shit out. They're giving them money to have time to figure out what's next.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that this happened with 5 studios now with Xbox, with Toys for Bob as well.
Right. Well, and I think honestly, I think Toys for Bob is the reason why this is happening, because the choice to do that with Toys for Bob has turned out to be a great idea.
Slash Tango as well, by the way. I'm gonna give
Tango too, but that
Well,
one hasn't worked out the same way.
Well, they closed Tango.
But they closed Tango, yeah.
They closed, but opened them back up to allow for the Embracer. No, not Embracer. Not Embracer. Crafton. That's it.
And Crafton had to rehire everyone. In fact, it could be that one that was like the idea for, okay, well, let's just not close
what if we
Toys for Bob.
Yeah.
Well, but
that probably was it. Yeah, they probably
I
did a
think
prototype.
But I think it's the success of the Toys for Bob thing that is like really solidifying it, though, because I think that's what we're going to see going forward with these teams is like Tim Schafer, I'm sure, is still on good terms with Microsoft, and I assume it's probably the same for the people at Compulsion. Like, yeah, there were layoffs and it wasn't a perfect thing, but like the whole industry is fucked. So I don't know that you can really lay that solely at Microsoft's feet. I really do think, and Asha has said as much, they're looking to do more second and third party publishing situations. I'm like 75% sure that whatever the next games from all these studios are going to be is like probably going to be published by Xbox.
Semi-partnered with Microsoft.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
They're
Toys for Bob is if Toys for Bob is anything to go by, I guess I would agree.
Yeah, well, Toys for Bob, Microsoft still owns the Spyro IP. They didn't send them off with the IP, so that might be a slightly different situation.
They didn't create that shit either. Insomniac.
But yeah, and it wasn't theirs. Yeah. So,
but I think it's part of their
stipulation,
stipulation, though, right? But I think that's part of the stipulation for letting them go free was that they would be like making that next game for them, or at least I think a few games actually. I think they made hint to that they would make other games, and I know they said they want to work on Banjo. Yeah,
they have. Yeah, they just said they want to work on Banjo.
Yeah. Let me read a few of these right here before we move forward really quick. Rotating Fallout Studios, Bethesda, NXIL, Obsidian, then the studios can work on their own IPs off cycles, as Vandal says. Starlight Terror, what's up, brother? Starlight.
I do think people really overglaze the Fallout IP's popularity. It is extremely popular.
Yeah,
especially with the show.
Again, like people are like, where's our next
moments.
Fallout? And I'm like, yeah, man, where's our next fucking Elder Scrolls?
Yeah.
Let's calm down.
I think Fallout had
they're already working on it.
In terms of relevancy, like today. Like most people are obviously going to flock to Elder Scrolls. It's just a bigger name in gaming for us. But I think in terms of the zeitgeist, where like casuals, they missed their chance with Fallout. I don't know what they were doing with that.
Yeah,
my sisters know what Fallout is. They do not know what Elder Scrolls is.
Yeah,
I'll put it that way.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
In the Lord of War 2026, the fact that Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, and Destiny are now MIA.
Yeah, it's
from
crazy.
the gaming community.
It's crazy.
Elder Scrolls at least is being worked on. Okay.
God,
yeah, but come on, Danny. Come on now.
And ESO exists and is still getting content, even though
I don't count ESO or Fallout 76 as actual games. I'm sorry,
but they do exist. Like it's not absent from.
I know they exist.
The world.
It's just they're
they didn't disappear into a glacier like the fucking Avatar. They just have had really bad management of getting the fucking
Starlight Terror, my boy. What's up,
I'm excited for that movie though. Actually, Danny, thank you for reminding me.
It's gonna. Well, it did leak, and apparently it's really good. But yeah,
it did leak. That's
right. I know.
Yeah.
Starlight says, I'm hyper curious about if the next Fallout, is actually going to have the same Obsidian love New Vegas had, or if it's going to be another mess. I would believe.
It's Josh Sawyer.
Yeah, Josh Sawyer is working on it. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be fine.
Also, if New Vegas released as a game today, visually looked like a game today, maybe had a little bit more of the mechanics we'd expect of a game today.
Right, and maybe
but
had
released in
longer...
released in the state that it did. I don't think it would be well received nowadays. It was buggier than Skyrim was. I don't think people understand how broken that game was at launch.
But didn't they build it in like 15 months or something?
18 months with scraps in a cave.
Yeah. They did. They did.
And a box of scraps.
And Todd Howard's pointing at his team when they're making Fallout 76, and he's like, Josh Sawyer made New Vegas.
And they're like, I'm not Josh Sawyer.
With a bunch of scrap.
Well, I'm not Josh Sawyer. Get out.
And a shitty engine. My shitty engine.
Speaking of engines, Yuzu, shout out to Yuzu. I don't know if you're still here. Yuzu mentioned that he would like them to drop the creation engine and move on to another one. I think that's going to happen anyway. I think they're going. I think that Obsidian is going to be using Unreal for the next Fallout.
Of course you do, but it's not.
I don't want them to use creation engine, but I don't want them to use Unreal.
Well,
I don't.
Too bad.
I don't disagree.
Too bad. That's what's going to happen.
I actually think it's going to be just like how Halo Studios is doing the Halo CE remake, where the visuals and some of the things are done in Unreal, but the underlying gameplay and physics and things like that are based off of the old engine.
That's the Oblivion remake way.
And the Oblivion remake was the same thing, where they stapled Unreal on top of
the creation.
That's not even creation. That's Gamebryo. That's before they branded it as creation.
Good point.
That's perfect. Honestly, that's you let creation do all the heavy lifting, and then you let Unreal just like look pretty.
Make it look
pretty.
pretty.
That's good at.
I suspect
make it look real pretty. Like
with Obsidian, it's hard to say, but I suspect that that's going to be what's going to happen at Bethesda moving forward.
That makes some sense.
Because there are some things that Creation Engine just does too fucking well that actually makes the monetization of the Creation Engine games work. Because moving forward, one of Asha's big things seems to be these games where like
continued
you can
revenue.
make content in them.
Yep.
So like Minecraft or like Minecraft is the big one that they have, but like games like Fortnite or what's the Roblox. In a way, Bethesda games have been that since Skyrim, since the Creation Club started with Skyrim. And they're not going to give that up, and there is nothing like the Creation Kit that makes it that easy on the market. The Creation Kit is probably the best one of those.
It's a very unique thing in its own way. Like, I personally couldn't give a damn less about it. I always found it gimmicky, but I do realize there are people
shaking
who
their
create.
butt on a ladder.
Well, of course. If they did that, then I would advocate for it.
Then I'd be in!
But... I know part of the big charm about it. Go ahead, what you saying?
Isn't Stellar Blade isn't it like Shift Up's own development, or was that Unreal?
I couldn't fucking tell you.
What was the question again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What engine was it in?
Was that in?
Was Stellar Blade.
Stellar Blade was I forgot.
I don't know if it was a proprietary or not.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's a proprietary, then that kind of goes against Umbra's Unreal glazing, but all right, that works.
But if
it was UE4.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
it was
that's
UE4.
why he liked it so much.
It goes in line with my glazing, then, doesn't it?
It had booty and it had Unreal.
There we go. Unreal booty.
It's his perfect.
Unreal booty, baby. But no, like my whole thing though with that, I think that with especially what we just saw with id Tech, the engineers, and this is looking doomy and gloomy over there. And we'll get to that in a second. Is even one of the devs said that they would be turned into relatively a support studio, and that would be relegated to using Unreal.
He didn't say that. He said support studio size.
Yeah, which
he was talking about how
which to me means that they'll be pushed to that, because you don't gut that entire team like that to then let them go create another game. I think they're going to be pushed to helping somebody else. If I had to wager, Machine Games, I would imagine.
If I had to guess, I would say that probably id Software is going to be exclusively focused on making Doom games going forward.
Yep.
I think they had that secondary team that was the team that was making like Rage 2 and some spin-off shit type. I bet that all of them got laid off. I bet it's a bunch of contract workers and remote workers. And I bet the people who are left are going to be focused on putting out just Doom after Doom after Doom. They may as well just put, what's his name, Hugo Martin in charge of the whole damn studio.
So you're telling me we're not going to get that gun-fu ass game? God damn it.
No.
That sucks.
No, yeah, I'm sorry. That John Wick one that was like...
Fuck!
Was
or
like
Perfect Dark.
That's not happening. Perfect Dark.
Listen,
I'm gonna be honest
but
with you,
Perfect Dark is a cursed
I
IP
don't understand
anyway.
that,
cursed.
like,
And in software, Perfect Dark would probably be good, but it's not going to make the same amount of money as a new Doom. It's just not.
I think that people overvalue the Perfect Dark IP in the year 2026.
Look, I like.
They just want
Dark,
another. They
but-
just want another major IP, like so everyone can stop saying all Xbox has is Halo, Gears, and Forza.
Well, and now they got World of Warcraft and Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Like they've got the big titles that they need. They just need to start putting them out. And then once they're healthy, then they can start doing that shit again.
Yeah.
Or they can.
But Danny, they want other IPs besides those three that don't have issues.
Well,
okay, we love ABK and Bethesda, but their IPs have issues. They do. Whether it's monetization and greed or just pure damn incompetence.
They definitely got the monetization and greed. That's absolutely happening. But like what I'm saying is like what they need to do right now is what they're probably doing. And I don't like it necessarily because I do like new IP and getting fresh ideas.
Yeah.
But if when they're in the bad financial straits that the whole industry is in right now, but them especially, it seems like, yeah, they need to be focusing on the things that are definitely going to sell. They need to be focusing on Fallout and Elder Scrolls and Call of Duty and Minecraft and like these huge tentpole names that everybody knows. And focusing on that, and then once they're in a good place, hopefully once the memory apocalypse, whatever apocalypse, whatever folks can call it, whenever some of that shit calms down, then we can start seeing them do more experimental new ideas. But to your point, I don't think that necessarily means that these other smaller IP that they own need to just sit on the bench forever. Like Toys for Bob wants to make a Banjo game, let them make a Banjo game.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
If you want to go if there's
Yeah.
some small studio getting started by somebody somewhere who's like, hey, we have an idea for a Perfect Dark game, let them do it. Let them make it. Why not?
Someone come in and do a prototype remake or a new entry, though. Yes.
Right. But
So
the
that would
studios
be
that you're
great.
paying, the games that you are fully 100% funding, like, yeah, right now with the state of the industry, you need to make sure those are hits, like financial hits. So it's
just to read a bit of this,
that's what's gonna
Stephen
happen.
Totila reported from some reporting that he talked with people and he looked up. I forgot who it used. I can't find it right now, but it's a website that displays it, and a government based website, I believe, that shows who was laid off and affected in Texas. He looked at ZeniMax, which was it in Bethesda, eliminating 158 roles, including one director of engine tech and 4 gameplay designers. And Obsidian cut 52 roles, including 2 art directors. That happened, and then we had the information with id Software pitching and toying with the projects that you guys were just talking about, which was Perfect Dark, a John Wick style original guild name game Fury, and a co-op Doom before the Xbox cuts hit the studio.
Not
The co-op
necessarily
Doom
upset
might
about
still
the co-op
happen.
Doom. I don't know. I'm not upset that that's gone.
That one I don't care about. The John Wick one
That's
and the Perfect Dark I would have loved to actually see what they did with Perfect Dark.
I would have loved to see it. Yeah, those ones are not happening.
I would have just loved to have seen a third-person id Software game, if I'm being honest, with that Gun Fu one.
A multiplayer mode in a Doom game, I could definitely see that in the next one. I do think that that's a possibility.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I can see that.
No, yeah. That John Wick one, like, it's a cool idea, but it's just there's too much possibility of that getting fucked up. They just can't be making those kind of bets right now.
Yeah, at this moment, I get what you're saying. It's just like something it feels like experimental and it's not guaranteed. And that's why they're being relished and relegated rather to more or less support.
If it's not an IP that can make money, it's got to be an IP that they could bring back to guarantee money at least.
Yeah.
Like Banjo.
I also don't think that in the end they're going to be relegated to support, largely because the statement from, or the report from Jason Schreier that Bethesda is being reworked internally to be tuned on 5 specific IPs, which are Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Wolfenstein, Quake, and I'm missing one.
Putting Quake over Dishonored is nasty
I
work.
don't remember which one I'm missing.
Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake. That's 5.
Okay. So I did say all 5.
Yeah.
So I do truly think that it is being completely trimmed and is going to be completely focused on probably an alternating Doom and Quake game. Like they release a Doom game, then they release a Quake game, and then they release a Doom game, and then they release a Quake game.
I guess we'll see.
You guys heard what I said, right?
They
About
yeah.
Dishonored.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be really annoying
What?
Is that over the they're going to be doing these layoffs, and at the same time over the next year, I guarantee they're also going to be hiring a bunch of people in just completely different positions, and everyone's going to be like,
That's
how can I possibly fucking trust this? But
that's
they're going to
exactly
hire.
what's going to happen, because most of the people that have been let go are the people that have been there for 25 or more years, that they are paying the most money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that, like, and again, we had another report that says that they don't plan to give up on the id Tech engine, and that they want to continue using it.
Yeah, I saw that one
There's
too.
exactly one person left that we know is still there working on id Tech. I suspect that there's three or four, realistic.
And it's been confusing. Reports
They're going to be
on that,
training the
too.
next generation of engineers for that engine.
I suspect that they are going to end up in a year or two hiring a bunch of new engineers to work on these things at a much lower rate, because they're going to come in as juniors.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of this is likely going to be. And people are
Speaking
going to
to
be
that,
shot.
I wanted to read this. So they said to current and former staff have told me that job losses across Bethesda game studios have removed more than 50 employees, including key high-performing people in the trenches and building the company's long-awaited Skyrim successor. This, in turn, they say, has shattered morale, raised the risk of future development crunch, and increased the likelihood that the game's already far-off completion date will be delayed. And it says their loss will have a substantial and cascading effect on the game and the morale of the studio. One Bethesda staff member told IGN, "It's been a mix of every discipline. Programmers, artists, and designers," said another. One person who's been at the company since Morrowind was cut, which was that lady, I forgot her name. There's a fear that we're going to be replaced by cheaper contracted labor, to what you just said.
I don't think it's going to be, again, they seem to be, like, she even says in the thing that they're moving away from vendors, and almost all of their contractors come from contracting vendor firms. They could do individual contract work, but that's like hard, and you do typically have to pay those having been one of those contractors in the past, you do typically have to pay those kind of contractors more. I do suspect that they're just slowly going to replace people with fresh heads, given her talk. But there's a loss of, like, a systemic loss of institutional
knowledge. Yeah, that's the craziest part.
Well, and those people, unfortunately, like, the really ironic and, like, crazy thing is that probably some of those people will get hired at probably even other Xbox studios, like, in just different positions. And they're gonna be like, well, this is where the job is, because the market's fucked right now, obviously.
And this is not a thing it's happening on the largest scale right now at Xbox. But this is not a unique thing to Xbox. This is happening at every studio in at least the Western world. In Japan, not nearly as much.
Honestly, we all just need to be looking at Capcom and Sega and Nintendo and figure out how it is that they're running their business, and just do that same shit. And I do think, frankly, a lot of it has to do with Japanese labor laws, which are a lot better than ours.
Oh yeah. I imagine.
Well, it also has to do with the fact that the people underneath actually like to work on the IPs.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, people here like working on the IP. Like,
some people here don't.
Fallout
I think that came out to be fake, by the way, Assassin. I know what you're talking about. I think that guy.
Yeah, you're talking about that Obsidian. The fake Bluesky Obsidian thing.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Dragon Age.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Dragon Age was but I don't think that guy who was working on Veilguard, the guy who was like, I'll never play Veilguard, I don't think he worked on it. I think he was a former.
No, not that.
How many different people were talking shit about Veilguard this week?
Why now?
I mean, with every on with Veilguard, are you surprised that there was some new shit being said every week about that game until it launched?
Right. No, you're right.
Shout out to Spartan.
I was just confused. But no,
shout out to Spartan 616 who drops five Infinite Umbra gift memberships.
Thank you so much, Spartan. We love you.
Thank you, brother.
But that is one of the things that really pissed me off. It's not the number one thing that pissed me off, not related to the layoffs directly, but the motherfuckers coming out and pretending that they worked at these studios so that they could grift some bullshit on social media.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
The fuck are we doing?
People are weirdos.
and I know you're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you the runway for it,
Thank you,
Danny, because I
please.
know you've been
Yes.
killing to talk about this.
I'm
But the fact
mad.
that so many reporters were re-reporting stories and re-reporting them poorly, where like you'd have people who actually know shit, especially
mostly.
Jason Schreier. Yeah, we had that one mistake where he made an assumption about a third-party vendor doing.
But he
it.
corrected it.
He did correct it.
These other motherfuckers.
The only time that Jason Schreier was wrong was, saying that Dragon Age the Veilguard was good. But go ahead, Crusader.
Okay.
I actually like
But
Veilguard. I thought it
I
was
also
all right.
liked Veilguard.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't
I'm with you as
story.
I didn't like
I
it.
didn't like its story. I loved the gameplay loops.
You got to
For
remember
an
that.
RPG
You got to remember
Crusader,
Danny.
that's not very good.
You got to remember Danny and
That's fair.
Assassin are anti-woke, Crusader. They're very anti-woke.
That is not the problem.
That is not at all where I was with that, but all right.
Anyways, that there were so many reporters who, Jason Schreier reported that like there are studios at Xbox that face closure if they can't secure an external deal or negotiate to go independent. And
Right.
all of these other reporters would go, Xbox has closed Ninja Theory.
Right. What in
Right.
the fuck? Okay.
Xbox has closed compulsion. Like, no,
I
they
wanna get in
haven't.
I want to get in on this. Hey, The Verge.
Yeah.
Hey, The Verge. Why, Jay Peters and Tom Warren? Why did you post Xbox is closing down Hellblade creator Ninja Theory? Where did you get that information? Because they didn't. What happened there? Hey, Rebecca Valentine, Ethan Gotcha at Kotaku. Xbox is planning to shutter Peabody Award-winning South of Midnight Studio. They didn't. Are you gonna put out a correction? Are you gonna? Oh no, Rebecca Valentine's out online being pissed at people for talking about how it's pretty cool that the studio didn't get shut down. Now she's
You know
mad
what that
that people are
excuse- you know
talking
what the
about
excuse
silver
was.
lining instead of being just pissed about all the obviously terrible shit. But if you mention the parts of it that are mildly unshit, then okay, all right. Hey,
But Danny, they actually gave they didn't retract it, but they actually implied the reason why was because Asha keeps making decisions every few hours, or they
Right,
keep
which is
changing
also
it
not
every few
true.
hours.
which is also
I
not
was
true
like,
and was
well, how
disproved
is
by
that
Jason.
possible? You can't steer a ship that big that fast.
Also, here's
Unless
a
you wanna
problem
make it
with,
exclusive.
here's a problem with like Ninja Theory and Undead Labs specifically. You don't just find a studio that's willing to buy them in hours.
That doesn't
so,
happen.
So Ninja Theory suddenly going from closed to not closed, that didn't happen in hours. In fact, I might even hazard
Depends on how
to
desperate they
argue-
were to save them.
I may even hazard to argue that they may have already had a buyer like 95% lined up, and that's why they were willing to put the thing in the damn showcase. They can never do that again, by the way.
No.
Put these games that they're not sure if they're actually going to sell the studios in their showcases. They cannot do that shit again. Now, granted, I don't think they're in a position where they have enough studios left that they can afford to actually sell. But they can't do that shit again. That
I'm
was
okay with it.
ridiculous.
I'm okay with it in the way of like they're using their platform to help advertise this thing to like help them put it out there. That's like pretty generous thought process, but it is sort of the result of it is that
not
these
when
games
it's
are known.
primarily marketing to fans who they're trying to get to buy their console or buy the games.
Right,
They cannot market games that they do not know are going to exist. Like they can't say that these games are coming next year when they might be shuttering the goddamn studio.
Sure, but we don't know that the conversation was or we'll close them. They for all we know, they could have just also ended up going independent, or they could have done the thing where it's like we're gonna get these games out the door and then we're gonna figure something else out. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure the conversation was more complicated.
I still you don't dare fucking do that again. That's just bad. It's just gonna cause a nightmare PR situation where everyone's freaking out.
I do want to
leak.
I do want to throw out the worst one from IGN. Microsoft has shut down South of Midnight developer creative compulsion game. Not are going to, not like are it's already happened.
It's done.
Yeah,
and that was one of the studios that didn't have any layoffs because they're completely independent with all their IP and a runway to make their shit. Is IGN going to retract this? Because no, I just pulled it up right now. They haven't.
And there's no
IGN is
update
no
on the article.
hell. IGN don't even show Xbox platform for certain games they release. I know they're not going to do that.
Hey, what the fuck are we like? How is that okay? How is it okay to make all these people feel so much more uncertain and so much more scared of the future of their jobs?
The problem is because
By
most
just
won't hold them
doing
accountable
bullshit.
for it. Most won't hold them accountable. We'll see it. The thing is, too, is like, I think, to be fair, and again, to play devil's advocate, I imagine
don't be
that
devil advocate for IGN. Don't
only
do
for
that.
only in the sense that the news is so rampant and hitting at all points from so many different connections all these people have, right? Because they're all coming up with the thought of, oh, these were closing. I think a lot of those negotiations were the case where they were going to close, and that it worked out where they were like, we could let you go independent.
If you don't know for sure, then you put in the headline
You
like
put on the
rumor.
verge of closing,
or
or
like
something like that.
may close, not has closed.
Yeah, the
You know what
wording
I mean?
the wording matters
There's-
in that case. They should have been more responsible in that. I agree.
If you are not acting as a first person relaying of a story like Jason Schreier was, or Tom Warren was during this, he did make reports. Were they the first ones? Was The Verge the first ones to actually discuss Undead Labs, or was that GamesBeat?
I do not know the order.
Okay, but like, you know, if you're not one of the teams that's either reporting, or as soon as someone else broke it saying, okay, my sources were saying this, I wasn't confident enough in them to break the story myself, but now I can say my sources are also saying the same thing. If you are not one of those studios, you need to basically say it is alleged, or this statement has happened, or it is possible, or things like that. That like there is. It is journalistic malpractice to not do that.
I get you guys on that. By the way, Nerds were saying that's 100% a SEO beat headline, which
it is.
I know for a fact that there were people at Compulsion Games that saw that headline. Because IGN, that's the place. You're seeing IGN headlines.
Right.
There are people who worked at that studio who saw that and was like, am I fucking fired? Did I get fired and no one told me?
That's true.
And then they went to work and their boss was like, no, dude, actually, kind of the best thing possible happened. We're independent again, and we have all our shit.
I'm very pro reporting on these inside things. I'm very pro on that matter.
Right.
But I'm also very pro on the people who are doing it should be doing it with real sources that they know that they can trust. And when it comes to something of this gravity, they have to really trust those sources to report on it.
Yeah.
I put out a statement saying that like every journalistic reporter who has trusted sources should be reporting what those trusted sources are telling them. That doesn't mean that I think every Joe Schmo should be posting every like rumor that they see online about this stuff, or that every little thing that they've heard in the grapevine. But anyone who had a trusted, like everything that Jason Schreier had heard that he even thinks that he should trust, he should have been talking about during that period. Same thing with like, I think it was Dean Takashi at GamesBeat who broke the Undead Labs. That Undead Labs is one of the focus. Now it really makes sense why the games, by the way, at the showcase that were multi-platform versus not multi-platform were the way they were.
Right.
It lined up 100%.
All the games that end up going independent, yeah.
All of like Undead, the two
off.
games that were really confusing to everyone with Senua and
Undead with
State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
The fact that those were multi-platform and are now going, both of them are actually being sold to other companies. That makes a ton of sense now.
It does, yeah.
Right?
Anyone else find it interesting?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, anyone else find it interesting that the studios that they targeted with layoffs or being sold off were the ones that, were a part of the multi-platform?
No.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, basically, that alluding to that the games they were showing there happen to be the teams that they're doing this with.
Well, no, but when you think of
Project Latitude,
I see.
but all the studios that they targeted, even the one. So the thing is, like with Halo Coalition and Playground, they're not going to touch those because they're the money makers. They're not going to sell them off or shut them down.
Right.
Well, no.
But the ones who didn't make money but also put their games multi-platform, they're gone.
They were the companies that were shifted multi-platform were done in order to try and make them higher margin studios. Like it's incidental of the same root cause.
And the ones that you
Yeah,
named,
because it's weird that In Exile was the only studio that went unscathed, and they're the only studio that was acquired before their buying spree with Bethesda and
for
ABK that
now.
were untouched.
For now, I'll
probably-
caution because we still have 1,600 other layoffs to happen in the later point. So that's the
Right,
part
but
I'm
If they
worried about.
cancel Clockwork Revolution, then there's just no
closer
fucking
to
point.
1,100, but I mean, it's again still bad. It's closer
Right.
to 1,100
They've-
because none of the initial 1,600 included any of the headcount reduction through the sales or divestitures.
Yeah.
So there's about, I think it's somewhere between 300 and 500, depends on what happens with Arcane, that are going to be not layoffs but divested from Microsoft.
Right. Well, and they also have said that the second wave won't include like more studio closures. Like they're done with that. It's going to be layoffs.
It's question of whether or not what happens to Arcane. And again, we don't know totally what's going to happen to Arcane because everything from they get retained to they get become independent to they get sold could happen. They are in order for any change of state of their existence as a business, there's like all kinds of French laws. They have to go through all kinds of things. So the fact that they're even considering anything has to go through the French process. That's why nothing has happened with them yet, because it's gonna be months and months and months and months until we know anything about Arcane. It could actually escape this fiscal year.
Which I wonder if that would help it escape getting sold.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If
If it's going to take a few months, then just wait until Blade comes out and then make a damn decision.
If some of these things turn the company around to any extent, they might be like, maybe we keep it.
Maybe we keep Arcane.
Maybe we keep this one just for us.
But it's, yeah, for most of this, I'm kind of like, this is happening throughout the rest of the industry, so I'm kind of numb to the just generic layoffs, and that feels really shitty as a person to say that.
Yeah, it's not.
It feels really shitty as a person to say that.
That's
so
just
many people have been laid off in the last like three years. I've had to deal with it in my own family with my mom getting let go from her job, and we had to help her find a new job for the first time in 28 years last year. I've just grown so numb to that, and it disgusts me that I've grown so numb to that, like to the point where I feel physically unwell sometimes when I think about that.
It's just human self-preservation. You don't got to beat yourself up about it. You can't feel like shit all the time and be healthy. That's your body protecting you.
It's like 60% of me is like, I do think Xbox will come out of this better, not worse, in the end. But then 40% of me is like, what the fuck did they just do to id Software? That makes literally zero sense. None.
Yeah.
I cannot map what they have done to id Software to their strategy. Because that's a studio that easily with better, like Doom, The Dark Ages, did not underperform for any reason other than they did not market that game well.
Yeah.
Solely. I thoroughly believe that. With my entire chest, I will say that the only reason that game did not do well was because they did not market it well. They did not make sure that people knew what it was, how action-packed it was. It would have sold better had people, like the Doom Eternal sold so well because everyone was stuck inside during COVID, and everyone was seeing every game that was coming out.
Yeah.
And so they didn't need to market, like Bethesda didn't have to market a Doom Eternal to extremes, but like. It's beyond frustrating that like that is the one thing where I can clearly say that like you have made a complete and utter mistake here. Now
sure.
I think that you've made a complete and utter mistake of losing your industry like the brain trust, the industry knowledge that you're leaving everyone with the layoffs of like the people who have been at these studios for like 20 some years. I think that that is also one you can point to, but it's harder to like concretely point at something.
Right. Well, and I also think that unfortunately a lot of those people are probably also the 14 layers that they were talking about.
No, so the 14 layers was almost exclusively from the Xbox platform side, which is where the majority of these layoffs are coming from. Is from the platform side, not the studios. Not studios, right? At least this round. And I suspect that will probably happen again, where like there will be bad cuts at studios, but the majority of it's going to be from the platform side.
Yeah.
And she even made kind of stressed that like their platform side grew 40% and like everything was like collapsing and doing worse while that was growing. But I thoroughly believe that Doom: The Dark Ages failed because they did not get enough people, did not get the game in front of, and it didn't even really fail, but like failed to be like as big as it could be, is because they did not get enough eyes on it during the marketing window. And I mean, also Doom Eternal, like part of why it succeeded so well was they discounted that game like within like a month and a half, and then it exploded. I truly think that they did not highlight Doom the Dark Ages in the way that it should have been highlighted, because half of the way that you can frame like some of the best-selling games is how well the companies hyped the shit out of them before they launch. Like Cyberpunk had record number sales with a broken game and continued to have relatively high record-breaking sales throughout and it continues to have record-breaking sales, like post being fixed, but like it never even really stopped having record-breaking sales, even while it was broken. It had a bit of a window there where like people who could return it were returning it, but like that game never stopped exploding. And everything floats back to Xbox has some of the most shit marketing on the planet. And I think that a huge problem with a lot of their games has been that they just don't fucking market them. They don't market them well. So
it's just a fact on that front. I mean, all that agreed. I wanted to say this. I'd be remiss not to say it because we often have had this talk so often about people being laid off.
Yep.
And that is obviously our hearts and hopes go out to those who have been affected and will be affected in the upcoming one, hoping that they land on their feet. I just cannot get over how some have been real dismissive of that. It's left a bad taste in my mouth because I see some people like, oh, well, they'll be fine. And I'm like, you don't know they'll be fine. A lot of these people might move on to different disciplines. They may not even come back to gaming development. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And like that's all that wealth of knowledge is gone, and you know it's like creatively.
We'll get there.
You're getting there. Creatively, a lot of these games, like games they could have created, we won't get now. Like who's to say we could have, you know what I mean, missing out on these certain masterpieces that we may have gotten now we won't ever see because they're no longer there. Like it's just sad to see that happen.
It's a fucking mess. I am one of the things because I was in like a real fucking spiral, like pissed off at all the rumors about like they're gonna close this studio, they're gonna close that studio. Because I believed that at least some studios were getting closed down. I didn't think it was gonna be all 5, but I did believe that some studios were getting closed down. This is crazy that it was 0.
That's part of the reason why I didn't want to talk about it. When I didn't come on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't want to speculate on whether they'd be closed or not because it would frame the conversation completely differently.
Right. Well, clearly IGN doesn't give a fuck. So who are we? Who are we to care? But like, I know this is a shitty thing to say, and like I don't really 100% mean it, but seeing, even though it was fucking terrible, for some reason I had some amount of relief reading what it actually was and seeing like. There could still be a South of Midnight 2. There could still be, and I don't know if that's like a bad thing against my character, but just like those silver linings like really made me not as like not even not pissed, but just like
yeah,
I would just like it's not as bad as I was telling myself it was going to be, and frankly IGN was telling me.
I think, and I agree with that. I felt that a bit of relief in terms of them not being closed and all that, and I think that's what did it for us. We felt alleviated because of that. But I think when you actually look at the cost and how it affects things, you know, like it seems like it won't be nothing, but then you look at id Tech being gutted, right, and you see like, oh, that's when it's going to start hitting in once we start getting all the details. But I agree with you. Initially, it did feel like, oh, okay. I mean, it's bad, but it's not like devastating, right? Like we thought it was about to be, in a sense.
Because I'm gonna keep coming back to Compulsion. That was the one I was the most heartbroken about, because I was like, yeah, it feels like that's the one that they're gonna close, and I'm glad that I was wrong.
Yeah.
But the idea that they were gonna put out like my game of the year last year and then get shut down the next year was destroying me. And just the idea that there's a possibility, I don't know if it's what they're going to do with their next game, but that we could get more South of Midnight, and I hope that we do, is really doing a lot of work to make me feel okay.
So, and I think that there's two ways people are going to look at this. The first way you look at it is well, I don't know if it'll be the first way everyone looks at it, but I'll just say the way number one that people look at this is the human way. The actual human impact, right? Like how many people is this affecting, how much that sucks. The other way people are going to look at this, and it's probably actually going to be the way that most people will end up looking at this long term, is the customer way.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as being a customer goes, there's still going to be like these studios that make these games for the most part still exist. And so as a customer, it doesn't suck as much. And that's where like that for you that's coming in. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because there does has to be a limit to how much you can care about a company, right? Like I just give me you exist to sell me this thing, right? That there is a level of that. Now you can't let that take over, and you can't forget the human element of this, and the human element of this is huge, and that's why this is a travesty, even though all of these studios didn't close. But I will give Asha this as far as cold-hearted kind of CEO go, by not closing any of the studios and not canceling any publicly known projects thus far. Like actually, I should say publicly announced, not publicly known. You did kind of fucking control the narrative of this long term.
They did,
as opposed to something like Ubisoft, like disgusts me, absolutely disgusts me.
Mm-hmm.
But gotta give you some fucking like cold-hearted CEO. I don't want to say props, but like man.
No, by all accounts, I think you're right. I think it definitely
was that a master class.
It definitely came off as a PR win.
That.
I think overall, even
oh my god, yeah.
It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be.
It really should not be. Well, and they will get lit up, and I hope the fuck they do, because they deserve it. But
they could have gotten lit up 18 times. I don't know. Worse.
And they
with less layoffs, with 1,000 total layoffs between for the entire year, they could have gotten lit up way worse had they closed the studios. Like I genuinely feel that the closures of the past 2 years, where last year they closed what was it
Bluepoint
Initiative no where Xbox closed the Initiative, and who else last year? Was it Roundhouse last year?
It was one of there was one. It was one of the it was that or Alpha Dog. It was one of the mobile game or whatever's that no one.
No, Alpha Dog was 2024.
And then the year
I think it was just the
closed,
Initiative last year.
And then the year before they closed. They canceled
Everwild.
Everwild. And then the year before they closed Arcane Austin and closed Tango, and then everyone fucking revolted about the closing of Tango, and then Crafton was like, "We'll buy them, we'll buy them, we'll buy them, we'll buy them," and that became like a mini retroactive PR win. But there was a far sharper reaction to that news with less layoffs than to this news, because they managed to not only sell these studios but not hold the IPs hostage. And that does go to show that they're you can shape a horrible announcement around that, and that really fucking sucks that they can do that, and that they that people are going to forget about the human element of this. But that is something that's going to happen long term. People are going to remember that the studios got sold, and they're not going to remember the people that got laid off.
It's a terrible thing that she's done here.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the way that she handled it does also make me feel like she is the right person for this job.
Yeah. which is sickening.
I don't know what that says about.
Yeah,
me.
It does.
But
It does. I mean, it does reinforce that, because I couldn't see Phil or doing this right here, right? Like
no,
it wouldn't have worked for him. It had to be someone else to come in and do this.
I also think that this does kind of really go to show how fucking poorly, towards the more recent years, that Phil and Sarah were running the brand. From what we've learned, like I don't care what you say about the multi-platform push and all that stuff. When you realize that the platform side of things had up to a 14 level management problem, yeah, I'm sorry. There was some leadership problems there.
Absolutely.
Some pretty severe leadership problems there.
Some of that is probably a byproduct of growth by acquisition.
Yeah. Well, the fact that Phil, the fact that Obsidian wanted to make a Fallout game and was making a Fallout game, and then it became not a Fallout game, and now it's finally a Fallout game again. Like, the fact that happened at all under previous leadership is nonsense. Absolutely. And that's something that I would completely believe, that Phil would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Todd said no, so we're not doing it anymore." I can totally see that. As someone who wanted to give the studios as much creative freedom as Phil did, I could totally see that going in the wrong, poor direction.
I just cannot.
That would explain all the incorrect leaks over the years.
Yeah, that's true. I cannot fucking fathom looking at Josh Sawyer, one of the most acclaimed RPG makers in the industry, and him being like, "I have an idea for how I can make $1 zillion with one of your biggest franchises," and being like, "Nah, man, what? No, I don't think we're gonna do that." I cannot fucking believe that decision was made by anyone at any point. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I do really think that, like, while they did a lot of good for the brand in a lot of ways, like, Sarah Bond sealing the deal with Bethesda is legendary. She should be applauded for that. That was crazy. That she was able to lead that kind of merger and acquisition. But I don't think that they were actually good in their leadership roles overall.
No.
She was great in her merger and acquisition, like as in head of mergers and acquisitions.
I think she was very good. Now that I know she's part of that crazy ass Peter Thiel dialogue bullshit, I'm glad she's gone.
We still don't know if she's part of an evil cabal. We don't know.
She's there. She's on the guest
list.
list.
On the fucking guest list.
She's eating the babies. Yeah.
I guarantee she's not the most evil person there, because Peter Thiel's there.
He's leading it. But it's I do.
Real fast, sorry. Do you not have to go, Umbra? It's 11 p.m.
I'm off.
He said he didn't have to.
I'm off.
Oh, right, because you're dying.
Oh, thank you.
Because he's dying.
Sorry, forgot about it.
Thank you so much.
I forgot about the vertigo.
Where I am.
My bad.
But it's just, it's really complicated to talk about this because it's so awful. I also think that Xbox is probably in the end going to end up in a better position than it was in a few years from this. As long as they don't fucking repeat it for a fourth goddamn year in a row. They do this again next year, they're done. They're done. They're done. They're done. There is no more room to trim shit like past what they're doing. There's not. If you do, you might as well just sell everything off.
Shout out to Nib GPT, as some would call him. He pointed out that, since the ABK acquisition and everything, and there was a lot of redundancies, to you guys' point, Microsoft had 22,000 some odd employees, and now with all these cuts from those years, from since till now, they are now at 12,000 some odd, just a bit above PlayStation, which is crazy when you think about it. That's a lot of redundancy.
You remember when people wanted them to acquire Ubisoft?
I remember. I was the one advocating for. I advocated for
Rocksteady and Capcom.
Rocksteady and Capcom. That's the ones I wanted. But I'm so glad that didn't happen. Well, Rocksteady probably would have worked, but Capcom, I'm happy that didn't happen.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it outright. I think they should have acquired Sega more than ABK.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Literally anything besides ABK would have.
Anyone besides that.
It's like a gift and a curse for ABK, right? Because it's also helped them a lot, ABK. But
the thing is, with how we know everything was going to be running, I'm pretty sure everything still would have been destroyed. Like I still think we're in this situation, maybe not this year, but in like 2 or 3 years, because that like they didn't integrate anything well. They didn't like they just didn't do anything well with their studios. They're Phil gave them creative freedom, but he gave them far too much freedom from oversight.
I would agree with that.
And
Also, I wonder what the hell was Matt
arguably-
Booty doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're probably getting stonewalled by the other 13 fucking layers of bullshit.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, go talk to Tim over there. And then go talk to Robbie.
It is also really interesting that she has said multiple times they plan to spend just as much money as they have been previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like, which leads me to believe, and we had some reporting that like they were from XTAS on something that happened in Italy about developers having all of their Game Pass stuff on pause, but then like an actual executive from Microsoft came in and said this is not accurate.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
From what I heard, it was they had put a freeze on new spending while they figured things out.
Yeah,
but they
but
didn't
also
cancel things.
I do fully expect that, much like how they're investing more on their side with big hits and stuff like that, that they are investing more in big hits for Game Pass on the third-party side, as opposed to random indie that you've never heard of before in your life, which is kind of upsetting because like the random indie I'd never heard of before in my life was kind of like what I really loved Game Pass for. But
I'm sure there'll still be some of that.
And I think you can actually kind of see that by the fact that they had fucking announced Persona 6
Yeah, hell yeah.
for Game Pass day one.
And I'm still
that's
buying
where
a physical
that's where
box.
people, when they tell me that they're pulling back from Game Pass, nothing that they've done has actually signaled that they're pulling back from Game Pass, except for the fact that they found that Call of Duty did not fit Game Pass.
Yeah. There's also been some misreporting about that too. People are like, it hasn't grown in years, and it was like, no, it stopped growing when
It stopped growing when
it stopped growing when the price
and it
went up,
collapsed when they increased
And
the
when they
price,
went multi-plat, yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, no, not when they went multi-plat, it was still growing just badly. When the price went up, then
It went, yeah, Jason said it was
then it
stuck at
went
34, then went down to 30 after the price hikes.
Speaking of, I want you to make your point, and I've got a question for
it is
Assassin
climbing
now.
again.
Since
slowly.
we're on this point of this, actually. Assassin famously has repeatedly said that he believes that, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it, that he thinks that, and now Assassin, I guess I'll let
God,
you take,
here we go.
Yeah. He thinks
Yeah,
that they
I
should
was kind
take
of hoping
first
that we
party.
wouldn't talk about this.
Oh
It's
yeah,
fine.
you hoped wrong, my brother.
we already had a discussion about this in the pre-show.
We did.
True.
But
yeah,
I,
so we don't really need to talk about it.
I will say though, I kind of see his point now, and I wonder if maybe he was actually right. Right? It sounds crazy, a little bit.
The only thing I'll say to add on to that, Umbra, they tried everything. They've done multiplat. They've done Game Pass. They've done everything under the sun that they possibly could do, except removing their games from Game Pass. And if this new Xbox is going to care more about sales, they want to get as many sales as possible. They can't do that if their games are launching on a subscription service.
Right. Well, but it's not necessarily sales. It's money, right? And Game Pass was growing right up until they raised the price to a point where people couldn't afford it anymore. So it is growing again. So I do think, I think one of the problems that Phil and Sarah had was they would make a huge change, like buying ABK, and then they wouldn't see it through at all. So they would be like, we have all this huge library of shit now, and tomorrow
Still not on the service.
And it's not on the service. But more to the point, and immediately, instead of using that to build our platform, we're going to put it multi-plat. Instead of like taking a couple years and seeing like how much does that help grow our platform, they were like, no, go multi-plat.
Yeah.
So I think them lowering the price and them doing all of this reset, they need to wait a minute before they do anything. I don't foresee them taking first party out of Game Pass. The most I could see is having it be like
system.
I think they.
Yeah,
I think they're already kind
To be
of
fair, Danny, you also said they wouldn't
pull.
Sony wouldn't pull from PC last year. And
I think
did.
it'll be a la carte style, like you're saying, Danny. I think,
They're 100% going to an a la carte style for Game Pass.
That's
where you
more
can
likely
pick and
happen.
choose the.
I think they need to take the Fortnite crew out. I'll be real with you. But at
Yeah,
this point,
get
the
rid-
price
who
is back
even
to
use
a
it?
point.
They need to take EA
I
and
mean, I say
Ubisoft
that.
out too.
I mean, I do.
I was going to say who even used that, but somebody has used
I do.
it.
I literally.
I use it.
There you go.
I use it. I 100% use it.
There you go. See, I don't use it, and that means
they
nothing
should
to
take
me.
it out. But,
Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing: I'd be happier with a lower price and it not being there.
Right,
But
right.
the fact that it is there, I do play Fortnite. I do buy skins from time to time.
Oh, there you go.
The fact that I don't actually, the Fortnite crew has completely covered the amount of skins that I regularly buy. I like to buy some of the gaming characters when they show up, so that
It's
I can
pretty
play
rare,
as like a Gears of War character or something. 'Cause
Right.
It's fun.
I think I buy like maybe 2-3 skins a year.
Yeah, and like
crew
this-
completely covers that.
Yeah. So like it is nice. I would rather it not be there, but the fact that it is, and I get the Fortnite Battle Pass plus the what's the car game that I don't play but made Nick really.
Let me ask you guys one final
Rocket
question so
League?
we can get out of here. Let's say they rip the
Yeah, Rocket
Band-Aid off to this whole point of Game Pass and say we're going to effectively end Game Pass. What do you think? How would you react to that? How do you think the fan base would react to that if they decided to do that?
It would be bad. I think
would be really bad.
I think people would be really upset. I don't think it would be one of those situations where it's like, this is the death of Xbox, they're done. I really don't. And I know that, every time Asha or formerly Phil opened a window the wrong way, people were like, Xbox is dead. And so and this would be a real big fucking window. But I don't think it would kill them. It would be really bad. I think people would be super pissed, and rightfully so. But I think now that they're at a place where they're cutting all these studios, they're not going to have as much, money going into putting things here. Like, I do think this is the correct. Like, we have to keep in mind, and I just said this a minute ago. Like, Game Pass was growing steadily until they fucked it with the Call of Duty money, price increase. So I do think that now that the price is down, the subscriber count has started climbing again. And I think we're going to continue seeing that, especially on the PC side, because I imagine at this point most people who have an Xbox console probably have Game Pass. I don't know why you wouldn't.
They need to sell more consoles, and they need to get more PC players on board.
And I do think, with the return to exclusivity, I know Greg Miller is super fucking pissed about that. But
he can get banned.
Yep.
I do think that is going to cause a lot of people to start maybe not like a huge groundswell, but I do think a lot of people are going to start buying more Xboxes. We've seen already Asha saying that they can't keep up with the demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
No one can keep up with demand for any electronic right now.
For anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I think that they're in a precarious but good spot right now, and I don't think they should fuck with it too much.
They also have a massive problem where they allow people to buy Game Pass 3 years out.
Yeah, they should probably stop that.
If they are going to move to actually stop having day one games in Game Pass Ultimate, they are going to have to structurally change something with how they with how they do that. Otherwise, they are going to have the largest and easiest class action lawsuit against them on the planet. Like that. It's to the point where it's like I don't really entertain the concept. Like if they were going to announce that there will be no more day one games on Game Pass, they would have to do that, and it would have to be kind of like how PlayStation's ending physical, where they'd say in 2029 there will be no more day one games on Game Pass. So I don't really see it as a like it's. People talk about things you can't put back in like genies you can't put back in the bottle. That's an actual genie you can't easily put back in the bottle for several years. And you'd have to start it today by not letting people stack the service at all anymore.
Which they should probably stop doing regardless. I think it would be
not incorrect.
It would be a better source of income for them, Game Pass, if they stop letting people buy this subscription card from a third-party vendor for $1 and get a whole year or whatever. They should probably
also
stop
say
doing
that they also do need, if they're going to do that, they do need to actually do discounts per like what they, because there's no way they'll drop it to you can't buy it like at least a year, right? It'll be at least a year. They do need to do what literally every other fucking person does and make it so that if you buy the year in bulk, you do get it cheaper, because that's why everyone stacks 3 years, because as soon as there's a sale or something like that, or there's a good deal on CD keys, they buy 3 years and put it on their account. So like they need to actually support the concept of bulk equal cheaper, because they do not currently. They used to with Xbox Live Gold, because Gold used to be $10 a month or $60 for a year. They don't do that. A month of Game Pass Ultimate is $22, and whatever 12 times $22 is the price of a year. I don't feel like doing that math right now. It's like what?
It's midnight.
Yeah,
and we gotta go.
Yeah, like 244 or something like that.
Yeah. Let's get out of here, y'all. We want to thank everybody here that came through and stuck with us for this, which is our longest show, I would imagine.
Yeah,
4 hours and 22 minutes. We had a lot to get through, though, to be fair, and I don't think we even covered everything still. Like,
Umbra, we started at like 9 o'clock, though. It was.
We did start a bit late. That's true.
We started like an hour late, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all in the chat. Thank you, nerds. I see you. Thank you all for the donations to the GTA fundraiser. You do not have to feel like you missed out if you're hearing this or recording later. You can give a super chat in the comments. I'm sure after all these donations tonight, I'll be closer to that. I'm sure to be. It should be approaching like 90, I believe, with the donations received tonight. So I want to thank everybody for those donations toward that. Vandal, it's perfect that you're here. You can make sure you donate before we go. Give it a C. Could have been more soft shoeing. Anyway. Anyway, let's get out of here, fellas. Start with you. Assassin, our guest. Let's start with our guest. Assassin, my good brother, I know you're tired. I know you're ready to get out of here. Tell the good folks where they can find you and what you'll be up to, man.
You can find me at Assassin52 on Twitter. I don't make content like the rest of these fine gentlemen do, but if you are interested in, I thought you had a YouTube channel, Crusader. You
do not have a YouTube channel.
You do that.
Well, goddamn.
I bitch about things on Twitter, and occasionally I do a little bit of investigative reporting on leaks and rumors.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I do similar things to Crusader then.
That's content. That counts.
Yeah, occasionally I'll do like a weird mega thread of like leaks and rumors where like I will do
Wait.
the history of a leak and rumor.
Wait, that's you on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit?
Usually it was not this year because the Bungie stuff happened, but usually
I know.
me who makes the mega threads of stuff on.
Yo.
Yeah, that's why I got into the podcasting. That's why they pulled me onto TXR in the first place, because they were like, "Could you come on and talk about this?" And I was like, "Sure."
Dude, like I've been seeing your threads for like a couple of years before this year. Like I did not know that was you.
Yep.
It was him all along, Barry.
Oh man, blows my mind. All right, well, yeah, just Assassin52 on Twitter. I may have a couple of things lined up. It just depends on a couple of partners and where they're at. But hey, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, brother. Well, thank you again for joining us and regaling us, as Kay Asante would say, with your information and thoughts. Crusader, my man, tell the good folks where they can find you and what you'll be up to.
Yeah, if I'm at Crusader3456 on most social media, you'll probably see me bitching about what Sony has done to Bungie for the next, like, I don't know, 3 months. 4 months. Like, it does, like, at the end of the day, it does make me madder than anything Xbox has done. That's how much I love the Destiny franchise.
Yeah, it's a personal attachment.
And how much fun I have with friends playing it, and how like that's now at a kind of like a final shape, if you will. So like that will forever be more upsetting to me. But you'll see me bitching about it on Twitter for the next forever.
Yeah, understandable.
So if Microsoft acquires Bungie from Sony and then they cut them in half again.
Listen, man, if they acquired them and restarted Destiny, I will worship at the feet of Asha. Like, any company buys Bungie and it's like, we're making Destiny 3, I'm at your feet bowing. I don't care how much I hate you right now.
What if they doubled down on Marathon?
Same thing would be true, by the way, if someone saved BioWare from EA.
I was literally about to say.
Thing would be true.
I was like, if Asha could find a way to save that IP from BioWare away from EA and soon
I'd be like,
can she save Dead Space from EA too?
Being the ultimate glad, I will. All of my personal morals will be gone.
I would turn into Xbox's Greg Miller so fucking fast.
Yeah.
You got no fucking idea.
All of my self-respect out the window.
I already don't have that, so I'm closer to you.
Well, at least he's honest about it.
What, you think I like myself?
Damn. Last but not least, Daniel J. McGee, tell the good folks where they can find you, what you'll be up to.
There's nothing you can say to me I haven't already said to myself. You can find me at my other podcast, Ready, Set, Replay, where we'll be playing through the now seemingly more relevant than ever retro games catalog in chronological order starting in the year 2000. We are about to put up an episode about Spider-Man, which I think I said at the beginning of this, and then we'll be doing a 2-pack episode of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, which I think is going to be a really, really cool episode. I think I got a couple of things planned for that I think are going to make it a little bit more interesting. So look forward to that. We also just finished season 2 of our rewatch Star Trek The Original Series podcast. So if you have any interest in, it's still on that same feed. It's still on Ready, Set, Replay, but it's just called Ready, Set, Rewatch of Star Trek The Original Series. We just finished season 2. And as we did between season 1 and season 2, we're taking a little break to watch a couple of movies. In the lead up to the release of the new Resident Evil movie, we're going to be watching and reviewing every single live action Resident Evil movie. Which I think is going to be a lot of fun because my co-host is probably the second biggest Resident Evil fan in the world, right behind Sphere Hunter. What's her name? Sphere Hunter or something? Susie, yeah. So that's going to be, I think, some really good content. Yeah. So please come on by.
All right. And for myself, Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite, you'll find me either way on social media. The GTA 6 fundraiser is still ongoing. If you go to my thread on my timeline, you can click and go straight to Cash App. I would also take donations in that way. So I want to thank you all for coming through. I want to thank the panel here. And we're going to get out of here. You all have a good weekend. Play some games. Enjoy. And try to stay out of trouble. See you guys.